Oof, let's go. That should not show on screen. Oh well. Hey, long time. Hey, Sub-Broken Darkling, how is the UK? But you're American, right? Because I just came back from vacation in the United States of America, aka I went to Cali. California knows how to party. Drank that a little bit. Well, I just gotta fill this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. MLP. We are going into our our second last series of the night between the side of DogChamp and, of course, Nouns in the upper bracket final of the NA qualifiers. And it is MLP Dota and John X5. Jonathan, my intros have not gotten short over the last couple of days, sadly, but how the hell are you doing?
Feeling great. We've had some exciting series earlier on today. Pretty fast, actually. Maybe not the last series with Wildcard and the Goons, but the one to start us off, Felt versus Bait, was really quick.
I'm looking forward to this match.
Ahead of the schedule, but that means more time for some more great Dota. You know, that's all we want.
What a crazy scenario as well. Like we do have a bit of time before the game one between DogChamps and Nouns does begin. But what a series of events, Jonathan. I can't say I could have confidently said Bait would have made it all the way to this point. For 10th anniversary of Dota, Dendy's woken up. Dendy, he knows he has to be a TI. He's still playing for a chance at TI. Obviously, we're going to see Bait later against Wildcard, and you did just point out that they did beat Goons earlier. So we do get to see the reappearance of Wildcard here today against Bait a little bit later on. But for now, Nouns versus Team DogChamp for that spot in the grand final. I was just saying to you, John, I don't think anyone expected Dendy and the rest of Bait to be this far into the side into the qualifiers, but then you look at DogChamp, John. Your boy Speed, he's in the grand finals.
Well, I expected. I definitely
grand finals. I guess is the way to put it.
I mean, they picked up Fitu.
Yeah, upper bracket finals for Speed.
Fitu's a fucking monster.
This is going to be an exciting one. I mean, if you know, I'm pretty sure everyone's looking at this, thinking that the favorites definitely are the side of Nouns. But if DogChamp make it, man, if DogChamp makes it all the way to the grand finals. If Speed Dota, Game Leap Speed, makes it into TI,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else you'd want, you know, and the memes write themselves, Mike.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, obviously we know who the superior YouTuber is well, Jonathan. BSJ's going to lose all the stonks, sadly, as Speed stonks will be rising right now. So you get your investments into Speed at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Game Leap stonks are on the rise. So we do have the draft underway as well. We'll bring it up rather soon and see exactly what these two teams are up to. I can't wait to see what happens. Obviously, Nouns are the favorites. Nouns are probably the favorites of the whole qualifier at this stage. I just want a good series, Jonathan. No bias from us. Obviously, you and I, we love the boys on Nouns as well. You know, you and I, we've had the pleasure of casting with Gunner at TI 11, so it's going to be a little bit hard to see him lose if he did lose to the side of Dog. I mean, no matter who loses, John, it's hard to win. You know, we love these boys.
Absolutely. I think
No,
you have to note, though, a little bit of a caveat here. If Gunnar does lose, somehow, if he does lose, he's still going to be at you. Let's not kid ourselves here, Mikey. That guy with his talent, he's going to be there.
That's our only chance of making it to TI this year. Jonathan, just hope Gunnar doesn't make it. If Gunnar needs a TriCast trio to be part of, we've got to be there.
For sure. We'll find out. Again,
When
favorites
the,
coming in here.
the China
finals
is
bans.
tomorrow
Nothing
later.
too strange. Pango, NP, Darkseer, and Jarcopter being taken out by
Wait,
Nouns.
what?
The DogChamp taking care of the Dawnbreaker, the Doom, and the Invoker. So,
am I seeing that
nothing
correctly?
too specific yet, just pretty much in meta heroes, as DogChamp does pick up the Undying. The clap from Moo. It's like, what? Did they discuss they're going to pick Undying guys?
I know. There's still a day before. Yeah, I was already confused.
Oh, yeah.
But Beastmaster.
Eastern Europe starts off.
He's clapping, but his facial expression has not changed whatsoever. He's that same disappointed look from Moo every single time.
That's Mr. David Hall right there. The most stoic person with the most. If you actually talk to him, I mean, he is just. He's out there, you know. Like there's something about Moo. The talking to him just makes
let's
me
get some
smile.
good old Dota. Nouns versus DogChamp.
It does make me smile.
Look at that, Jonathan.
I mean, I'm a Nouns
Speed's
fan.
Got the flannel blanket on.
Good
this
friends
is
with Asini. I mean,
Nouns, I'll tell you. Whenever Speed's got a flannel on, you know you're in danger. That's peak Speed.
So if they have a shit draft, I'm gonna call it out.
And it is. I'm curious what Speed will play. That's absolutely
like the second game they had.
He doesn't have access to the Beastmaster.
I think it was
no Darkseer as well. And those have been pretty much like the biggest.
The second game against Wildcard, they had a
Beastmaster in particular, but Hawks has been really funny to see. This year is just so weird.
Gyro ban.
Hawks from Vision into just this constant route.
A Hawk is actually bullshit from a kind of Beastmaster. The constant harassing laning stage is annoying.
What is broken next? Still taking care of more heroes before we get into that next pick phase. Banning out the Naga. I've got a few more Hector heroes still lined up here, of course. You've got the Sven, you've got the CK. They will take care of
Please don't pick CK. I mean, Wraithing I'm okay with, which still not because you're up against Undying and it's super shit, but please don't go CK.
Plus the fact
CK
that
is just useless.
Damage still scales up the way
all
it
the
does.
way through.
You know, it's never been touched down.
Playing against Undying, you're gonna need. I mean, you have attack speed from the Beastmaster, but you're definitely gonna need to get some attack speed.
I've played quite a few games at this stage of the new patch, right? And most of my games have an offlane Beastmaster against us. And this hero, man, the Hawk changes. Like, I said this yesterday, but I ended up playing like 5 games after we stopped casting yesterday. These Beastmaster Hawk, these dive bombs, they're just circling in the hole. It makes it impossible to kill this guy in the laning stage.
That is very
like you get
true.
baited every time. You think to yourself, "Oh, I've got this Beastmaster easy," and the next thing you know, you're just perma-stunned by this damn Hawk.
Yeah, there's a point there. The Hawk is
an amazing spell. It's such an amazing spell. I don't know why. It's a great idea. You know, that's one of the changes in the patch. I was like, this is very unique. Thank you, Ice Frog.
Is it though? Because how long has Beastmaster been in the meta? Could we not just kill the damn hero for a little bit?
Yeah, but I appreciate that they changed what he does. You know, you don't have to deal with the annoying Hawks giving vision and all of that crap. Now he's just kind of an insane Beastmaster. Like if you played Baldur's Gate, you know, it's like one of those. It's like a Beastmaster in Baldur's Gate, a Ranger Beastmaster with a Hawk familiar, you know? A Hawk companion, my bad.
Sadly,
I got another
Baldur's Gate
set up for tomorrow.
Yeah, well, it's obvious you don't have taste, Mike, so goes without saying.
Nice.
Goes without saying. Do we want to get into the anime discussion again, Mike?
No, we
don't.
don't.
Had to say about your recommendation.
No, we don't.
Okay. Let's not out ourselves fully here. Terrorblade comes out for DogChamp. Nouns, they do pick up the Snapfire. And the Snapfire is the hero...
Think
this hero has gotten kind of crushed as a core. It's just because your level 25 spikes so much slower. Like you could play the game with your old level 20.
Yeah,
but with 20 and 25 swap,
I mean, Snapfire makes a lot of sense.
Scaling into the late game just takes way
because you'd one shot
has really
the
good tempo,
Tombstone.
but I'd expect Nouns to kind of
That's
run
simple.
This on
What
support.
did they? Oh yeah, they nerfed
DogChamp. They will pick the Ruben.
Rod of Atos, so it kind of nerfed all the universal heroes in that sense. Are we back to audio dying for me? Oh, no, it's dying for everyone. Okay. mean, there is again the fat delay, right? 15-minute delay. I think there's still a 15-minute delay.
I mean, if you lane the snap for
Yeah, they're back.
For Yamson, like a snap plus jug lane is very aggressive.
Yeah, certainly so. Jug certainly has been feeling rather strong at the moment. That's for sure.
I was hoping that they turned off the 15-minute delays.
Very strong carry at the moment.
They back.
How do they want to follow up with their fourth?
I mean, it's not a big problem for me.
Come out. They'll have a bit of a think about this one, but they're going to go down the Phoenix route. So I guess in some sense, there's nothing for the Phoenix to be really concerned about in terms of just being able to pop that egg and, you know, being able to get it off.
I've actually swapped
Obviously,
away
all the Phoenix
from,
spells are really damn strong against the Terrorblade as well.
There's
no spells that Terrorblade enjoys playing against when it comes to Phoenix. So I don't mind this pick. I think it's actually a
Phoenix has been pretty strong so far. It's hard to steal egg. The other spells are
I feel like
terrible to steal for Rubik.
Handle the egg when it comes down to it. As long as he's got a Manta or a BKB, just to ensure that
TB can get rid of the egg
in on that target. But it's a lot of weight to put to the Terrorblade. He doesn't necessarily want to focus down that egg. The Phoenix, of course, also just provides you a lot of healing. Like, you've got the healing ward from Jug, the Sunray on top of that. You can sustain a team fight really nicely here on Nouns. So it's very well-rounded. I'm liking the support duo that we are seeing coming out here from Nouns. DogChamp, they've got to find a solution for that. Either something that can just instantly jump, get you instant control onto the Phoenix before the egg pops, or before the egg comes on, or something that can give you a lot of right-click. And again, there's no real options to just melt the egg for speed here. Like, what? You're definitely not going to do something crazy like a Lina offlane. So maybe a Wind Ranger could work if you really wanted to, but that should be more of like a mid-hero coming out for Red 2. And in this specific matchup, it's really not too clear if you can fit that Wind Ranger in. An offlane Wind Ranger for speed, in a jug lane, it's all right, but kind of doesn't do enough. You know, you kind of want more tempo from the off here.
I wouldn't mind like the Timber to come out for speed this game. Like, you've got 3 strength heroes. Well, I suppose 1 universal. They're going to go down the primal beast.
Is it primal offlane or mid? Because I've really not like any primal offlane.
It's not necessarily going to be the offlane, but excuse me, we do know speed does enjoy the primal beast quite a lot. So chances are it probably is going to be a bit of a flex pick here for DogChamp. Again, though, I feel like it's a game where you wouldn't necessarily mind heroes like the Timbersaw, but I did say 3 strength heroes. It's actually 2 universal these days, so never mind what I said. It doesn't really matter as much anymore. Stupid
universal
heroes.
Is still getting smacked pretty heavily by. It's not as bad.
Not remembering the
strength,
universal types.
Oh,
there's a few strength ones.
There's too many things changed up recently, I tell you. Too many.
It's been a couple of months, Mike.
Oh.
You know?
Doesn't feel like it for me, Jonathan, after having a child 4 months ago. It's
Oh, leaning on the child again.
Okay, let's see. Against the Terrorblade, Juggernaut is pretty good late game.
No level
It did get nerfed, I think, because now it's not. You don't.
This is where it gets a little bit exciting.
Crit heal through
what is Gunner going to play? What's Red 2 going to have to lane
armor
against?
anymore?
They have to
and
show
that was
respect
kind
to the
of
Lone
why
Druid
he was
being
so
banned
strong
out
against
because
Terrorblade, because his crits ignored armor, and well, Terrorblade.
It's a little bit funky.
Like,
I think that here is so annoying.
Walking around with 30 armor
push with the sustain coming out. So I respect that. Standard bans for now.
I haven't checked like how stats wise he has changed that much.
Luck with mid. Something like
I know the other spells, but I assume they nerfed him pretty heavily.
Maybe those high mobility heroes for DogChamp are
a
little bit harder to lock in.
I would assume Nouns will play Phoenix 4, Snap 5-5.
You've always got one way
Jug save, Beastmaster off, and they need a mid laner for Gunner.
Awkward for DogChamp to kind of gun for them.
Last pick is
Gunner. It does feel like his mid is a little bit more open because how are you going to control something like a pucker?
DogChamp. Okay, last pick is for now. I keep forgetting that they.
Well, you did call it.
Last pick is for Nouns, so they can always adjust and maybe put the Snapfire mid or something else.
Not so much
depends
anymore,
on if this is a primal mid or something else.
DogChamp with their final pick now. This will reveal where the primal beast will be going. Is it going to be the offlane?
Yeah, Quap mid. Quap is like insanely strong this patch.
Okay, very good, Jonathan. You're off to a good start today. Very good to see. What do you do to counter the Quap, though, is the question now.
That is a very good question.
What hero would you like
Quap
to see?
is
You don't have heroes like the Ember now. Is there some particular hero you want to see play against the Quap?
Obviously, Puck
literally going to
would
go
be
a
nice,
game,
but it's banned.
can we
I mean,
not
I
have a game where
always
we see
love
Invoker?
Evoker, but
realize
it's
it was
also banned.
out, but we've been calling for Invoker literally this whole qualifier, and we haven't seen it
It's
once.
too strong. You gotta take it out. You do not want.
I even
to
saw
have to deal with it.
Evoker
I think right now Gunnar has an
support
option
in
for maybe
China
something like a Wind Ranger.
today.
It's not too bad. You have enough team fight that
That
you don't
was
need more coming out from mid.
Interesting.
You can kind of just play that lane up against the Quap, maybe threaten with a rotation down the line from your snap. So I wouldn't mind a Wind Ranger too much. They go to bottle instead,
Okay,
so there's
they're
more
going
magic
for
damage
like.
coming out. And that is a very solid lineup here from Nouns. I think this draft
Yeah, actually,
is looking pretty damn good.
No,
to
I
start
like
off
it.
with.
I really
It
like
has
the
a lot
lineup
good
of Nouns.
tempo,
I
a
think they're
lot
going
of
to take game
push,
number one.
and
The
a lot of
Coddle
magical damage to deal with this territory.
survives
So
the lane.
DNM's
That's
not gonna have the
important. He
smoothest
doesn't
time
do
here
that much damage,
once he
but
is
it's
focused
magic
down.
damage, so that's
I think
something
Nouns
TB
did
hates.
manage
He
to get
builds a very
themselves
quick
draft with
scythe.
a lot
He's
of good
very
pacing.
good
You
at
know, we saw
kiting,
Blue give
especially
that
against the
round of
Primal.
applause when he saw the
I've played that
Undying,
matchup a lot
the
of times,
confidence
and
is
you
well
just
placed. They come
destroy
out with a
Primal
really
Beast.
strong draft, and I think DogChamp have
And
to
with
be
the
very careful
skill
in that
advantage that they
mid-game,
do
really.
have,
Like, if
I
their
mean,
lanes
TB
are
is
all right,
scary,
but
don't get me
the
wrong. I
mid-game crumbles, which you
wholeheartedly
can with constant rushing
RESPECT
Nouns
the
lineup
TB,
can get out.
but I'm going to
I
go
think
with
this
Nouns
draft,
game one.
DogChamp can fall pretty far behind if you're not careful.
I wonder as well, like with the mid coddle for Gunnar, like is it the classic Solarbind Spirit Vessel build that we're gonna see? Like,
Probably
'cause it does look very
Solarbind Spirit
potent if you're gonna go down that route into the TB, of course, and the Primal Beast. They're not necessarily gonna enjoy the Solarbind and the Spirit Vessel build up that we.
I mean,
used to see from
Solarbind is
mid coddles.
obviously
Or do you
from
expect some
his
kind of
ulti,
different
so
itemization from Gunnar? Perhaps.
That's the point.
I think the Spirit
But
Vessel build-up's still pretty solid.
Spirit
Wouldn't
Vessel
mind
is
seeing that come down. I think
still
it's
a very
just
nice
maybe a
build
little
up.
more
I think
awkward
like
if you're
something
relying
like an
Solarbind for
Orchid
your
Rush
ult,
would
but
would also
you should
not
still
be that
able to get
bad.
that
But
done here
Yeah.
for your team. I think the tempo is just really good. You do want to play up tempo. You want to punish
Maybe
DogChamp for maybe trying to
even-
farm up on DNM. Granted,
I mean, personally, I'd
that,
say just rush
Hector
Stake
tends
on
to eat up
blast
even
DNM
more
out of the
space
server
for the
17
most
times,
part, but
that's just me.
he can still kind of join in. You know, he can soft commit for pushes with a healing ward. He can help sustain his team. And once you tend to have, I think in this game you might actually go Maelstrom, not the full Battle Fury. You could go
Is
for
it
a much
crackling
more
for you
early
guys, or is
Maelstrom
that
kind of
only
build-up
me?
with S and Y for Hector, just because the illusions are there. Damage to illusions is buffed. with
Okay, so
Maelstrom. You
that's
wouldn't mind
not
that too
only me.
much.
Someone said
Just
that
play it
it
up
sounds
tempo.
like Rice
So,
Krispies.
I wouldn't mind that kind of build for Gunnar mid. I think it connects. You don't
It's-
have any
it's
natural chakra
curious if I
combinations,
need to
although I
fix my audio.
suppose Chakra Beastmaster with more hawks is it's kind of there. I guess
Yeah,
that's really annoying.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily think that's going to be the priority, but you never know. I guess, Joe, we'll see. Obviously, you've had a bright idea. We'll see if Nouns have had the same bright idea as we do have game one underway here between Nouns and DogChamp for the upper bracket final of the NA qualifiers for TI12. So let's get that underway. See how game one does.
To
go
California
between
on
these two teams.
vacation.
Who gets that
Broken
first game
Darkling.
advantage? As the tips are already coming
So,
up
had
to
a
speed.
great
I'm not sure what
vacation.
speed's done, but Yamson's already handing the tips over. It
that's
happens
your
when
boy
you're a
Speed.
popular man. They always want to pick on the YouTubes.
Yeah, it's not picking on him. It's respect.
Oh, Gunnar.
Tip for his
Oh.
tips.
Gunnar might be disrespected in a moment, John. Smoke was broken there for a moment on moves, but it seems like he's going to be okay.
Sentry's actually within range of that obs from Nouns, but no one can come up for the D ward. Should have an idea that. Oh,
Bit unfortunate. Little bit unfortunate. I mean, really, he could have just waited till the bounty runes were gone to get the free gold, but I suppose he wants to give that team that vision advantage going into these bounties.
and now they get their own sentry up, and that is also within range of the obs. So Gunnar can clear that out. Is he gonna right click it? Not yet. He's not letting moves deny. So already a slight economic win, just slightly.
We
Two
a
for
2
two
for 2 trade on
trade.
the bounty runes, I do believe, as Nouns are able to get the top side
And
bounties.
Gunnar gets that
Here's
easy
the
counter
deny there
ward
from Gunnar,
in
getting rid of that
time.
observer ward eventually, so they weren't
This is
able
actually
to
very
protect
smart
it.
from Moose. He
Moose trying to be as
counter-warded
annoying
the
as possible,
camp
denying
right there because that
again.
camp gets
This is
stacked a
quite
lot
important
by mid
against Keeper
laners.
of the Light. Like banning that camp by the mid tier 1 tower against Gunnar is going to be extremely important because that's really the strength of the mid keeper, is the speed at which you farm. Thanks to those side camps are just so much faster.
And it is. And Gunnar already has himself a pretty
I love
stable
the
lane
buff on
anyway.
Kata where he
They're
does
gonna be able to clear out
25%
the
more
creep
cooldown
wave quite
reduction
fine
and
with the
healing
Illuminate.
and
Red 2 can't really
mana
come
gain
up for the
from
Scream of
chakra
Pain up
magic.
against the Coddle. Then the range
Makes
of
me
Coddle
want
just
to use
so
it less
damn
on my
far that
allies.
Can't really trade in the way you'd want to here in the co-op. So you're already just looking at a winning lane for Gunnar. You want to slow down everything else if possible. And this does at least allow him that. Even though the vision is gone, the sentry does stand. Still taking a look at those other lanes while they break out. Down bot, you've got speed on that Primal Beast and Moose on the Rubik. Up against K1 and Yamson on the Jug.
They did
and
go for the
Phoenix.
5 Phoenix.
This lane should be pretty all right for both sides.
Instead of
There is
I
a lot,
mean,
maybe a little bit more aggression.
I
that
would have
can come out
expected
from
maybe
DogChamp.
the snapfire so
You
that you
can
could
just
get the
kind of play
cookies
with
done
onslaught and trample once that's up. And you see the spin commitment
spin
down
kill.
from K1. Yamson.
Because Rubik
should
is a
just stand
very
back
slow
a little bit
hero.
more in this lane. You don't want to give that kind of opening up to the Primal Beast. So overall, maybe a little bit more passive for Nouns, but as long as you don't overextend, it doesn't feel like.
But
you
it
should
does
be able
make
to find
sense
too many
also. The
big
Phoenix
openings
can
here
Icarus
for
dive
speed. So
away from
Hector can just play
the
his game.
trample.
And we've seen this guy play a lot of farming heroes before, of course. We've seen him play this Jug. He loves just farming.
And
So
Primal
as long as
is
he's not
really
being
slow
shut
on
out of lane,
attacking,
you're
so if
pretty
he
happy here.
reduces attack speed
Yeah, he's
more,
gonna have a
it's
great
just
old time
sad.
for sure. That top lane, of course, as well. DNM and Bloody Nine going to be against Lelis and Moo. Another annoying lane to deal with for DogChamp. Like, you're not really much in the way of slowing down this Beastmaster, right? Like, Bloody Nine should theoretically have the advantage as the Undying, but it does feel like as you get a few levels up on Moo, he's going to have a pretty okay time trying to fight back. But as I
they're
say
trying
that,
to
the
kill
chase
Moo.
is on. Moo's in trouble. But there's that damn Hawk
Hawk,
guy.
slow.
Coming
Hawk,
in,
slow.
making sure you just can't chase. Tombstone was committed, but obviously bursted down very quickly thanks to Lelis going for that little shredder level 1. And it makes all sense, you know. The level 2 timing, the Undying, completely whiffed now.
Yep, and he's
Yeah,
got no
not gonna
mana,
feel
so
too
Bloody
good
Nine
here
is at this stage
for Bloody Nine.
useless
Does
in the
manage to
lane.
At least get off the pull, but Lel's still hanging around, kind of soaking through there. DNM popped his Metamorphosis for that as well. So you're not going to be able to get too much aggression out, and the lane's just going to be easy to manage now for the side of Nouns. Axe spam kicks in. We've got the board that you can't really clear out too well. And this is a little bit concerning for the side of DogChamp. You are finding decent enough farm on DNM, but the fact that you're probably not going to be able to slow down Moo, and the fact that Moo
Oh,
can
does he
probably
get it?
look for
No,
that aggression
Bloody
by
Nine
level
picks
3
it.
He's gone.
is pretty hard to play up against.
Bloody Nine might actually just be dead.
Yeah,
This is so stupid.
What a spell.
This is so... this is what happened to me yesterday.
that's
What are you-
so sad.
What is this? What's he meant to do? Roshan's not home either, Bloody Nine. Keep running towards the Twin Gates, sir.
Oh, he's actually going to
Luckily, the
survive.
Hawk, it dies, Jonathan. The Hawk's gone. He survives. But at what cost?
I can finally understand why in Australia you guys have to wear those spiked helmets, right? You get rooted. You got to have those helmets.
It's not even a hawk. It's a magpie that Moo's using. At this
It's
point.
still a bird.
Oh yeah, they
It's
get
still a
attacked by
menace.
magpies in
That's the new cosmetic for TI12.
In Australia.
They're gonna put in an
every
Australian
fucking magpies want to kill you in that country. What the fuck?
And make the squawks louder.
Of course.
Buff the damage. I know. It's got to do something to represent Australia, Mike.
I have seen
But yeah,
heard
it's
of
a
owl
slower start
attacks
in
in the
terms of
Netherlands
kills,
though.
but the lanes looking solid enough for the side of Nouns. I think you are still finding the farm you'd want.
Like a
Again,
vengeful
DNM,
owl was
despite all that
terrorizing a
attention being
street,
taken
or
here
at
by
least
Bloody
a
Nine,
certain
he's
area,
not caught. And
if
the
I
Terrorblades
remember
not
correctly.
comping it, same story as it was for Hector down bot. As long as both of these safe laners are farming, you really don't mind the nuisance in that off lane. Well, to be fair, DNM is having a slightly better time than Hector is, so a little bit of a win here for the side of DogChamp. I think the standing issue is really just mid, and Gunnar is just running away with the mid lane, as you'd expect. Just illuminate spam with a chakra. Quap just can't gap close with a Scream of Pain and a Shadow Strike. And Gunnar did manage to clear out that sentry, so he does have access to that large camp. And, well, the farm just escalates.
Yeah,
he's going to have
building up
travels, he's
the
going to have
bots.
timing into an Ardent Spirit Vessel if he wants that. And there's just no clear way of jumping this Kotl. Maybe down the line you can start to commit with speed, but that's still a ways off here.
Yeah, and probably is kind of terrible against Kotl because you can blinding light him away now that he's level 6. He's also got
They are just
the
happily trading farm down the bot
slow,
lane. Like, he's
which
still having
Primal
a better
just
time.
he
CS
can't
and
do
say
anything
K1
against
on
the
the,
slow.
on the
He's
jug at the
just
moment.
standing still.
So you do have that going for you, that your off lane is at least farming better than the safe lane of Nouns, but same time, it is K1. Like, we know he's going to go into the jungle and just farm freely later on anyway. Speaking of K1, by the way, he has queued up a Battle Fury, which surprises me as well, because I did
well,
think
they are going to go for DNM with the rotation from Gunner.
In the meantime,
Boom,
DNM
smacked
is
out.
going to go down, so first blood finally drawn. It is going to be Gunner to claim the kill. So fantastic.
And that was before he got the boots delivered. But the heads up play is...
John, he is going for the Battle Fury build on the jump.
Yeah, I can't fault him. I think if he's expecting himself to just
Oh,
play a
red
farming
too?
game, it's still going to have a lot of value. It helps you build up maybe a little bit faster than Maelstrom in terms of clearing out these camps.
Man's playing a dangerous game,
mind
did get
much.
the rune
Just
though,
fits into what
and is now
Hector
heading
does
towards
like
top,
to do
so
for the
they
most
got a
part,
dip. That
in a
call
lot of
must
his
have been
games,
made. Indeed,
and what
they're
we've
already
noticed
falling
here
back.
in the NATI qualifiers as well.
Oh, maybe not far
So,
enough. Lelis
Fits in. They are rotating up
is
top
dead.
now, DogChamp.
No, they'll try for Lelis. Lelis will just turn around for the tombstone, though. Sonic Wave committed
Loses
just to
the
ensure
courier.
they secure the kill. They will get it.
Moon loses the courier.
Sadly for them, that
Where
they
the fuck
are
was
not
Moo's
able
courier
to
there?
find Moo,
He's to
which
the
is
left.
the much bigger target, being the off-lane Beastmaster. But I suppose at least you find something.
Moose
for
is
your
still in
rotation.
the area as well. Oh,
You get
they're gonna
something
go
out.
for
You know, you
the
get some activity out in red too as well.
6-minute rune.
Who, again,
7
has
minutes
not had a smooth
XP
start.
runes.
Maybe not.
Nice. Moose.
Yeah, he's gone, but Lelis is there, and now they've got the extra TP coming in.
Both
Gunnar, he'll just
wisdom
take it
runes.
himself.
Oof.
Double wisdom rune for Nouns. Sadly for DogChamp, they are going to lose out.
No.
Oh, there you go. Very nice, Moose. He won't lose too much.
Yamson
Bloody Nine,
got the
however,
solo
down at bottom
kill?
lane does also go down, so you're still losing support somewhere across the map.
And Yamson did manage to snag.
He's
the other
almost level
wisdom in
6
a
now
way,
as well.
which is massive for a team with Phoenix. You know, this earlier level 6 timing for Yamson, the threat of the egg, the fact that only really the Terrorblade can kind of handle that is a big concern for DogChamp. Again, the lanes have been managed quite nicely by
Where's
DogChamp.
Koturu
The kills
going
have been
for?
racking up.
As,
On the side
okay,
of
he's going
Nouns.
for Spirit
Gunner's off
Vessel.
to this really strong start. Urn already up and running. Spirit Vessel not too far off. And
Cops
with the
going.
EXP
Is
gains
he
they
going
have, I mean,
Witchblade?
even the supports are going to be starting to have a lot more impact in these fights. And earlier Kisses timing here for Lelis is going to be massive. With the egg combination, just a lot that will hold DogChamp back. And this is where this draft kind of falls flat. If the lanes don't come out with a good start, which again, they've had a decent start, but the kills have just been the momentum. The kills have been going the way of Nouns. They're going to have to default to farm, especially with DNM.
So 1k net with
This
lead.
terribly, it's just not going to be ready.
Nouns
Whereas a Jug
ain't
with
too
just
bad.
say,
They're gonna go
Battle
in
Fury
top
Yasha
side.
is going to be active a lot earlier.
Well, top lane, Bloody Nine's going to get roared up here by Moose, so no chance of escape.
And with Yamson rotation,
He
tier
will
1 tower
die.
should drop.
I mean, Yamson rotating down the Phoenix just to get started on that top tier 1 tower.
K1's
But
got a
bottom
dip.
lane, K1's been left alone, so Red 2's going to make the jump in, but the Omni Slash is committed. However, it does make a bit of an awkward bounce, and K1 is gone.
Didn't have the
So
mana
you,
for the
you show
spin.
yourself as 3 top lane, you get a kill into the Undying, but now the rotations are incoming. It seems like DogChamp, they want to try and defend this. Moose has shown onto
There's no ulti
Yamson.
for Primal.
Yamson looking to back off should be just fine though.
Actually keep it alive.
The rotations up back towards
That's
the top lane
pretty
do not
surprising.
really work out in the favor of DogChamp. But that kill onto K1 is pretty huge.
That it is. It helps to offset as well for DNM dying, and they have done a great job of just slowing down this Jug. Battlefield is still a ways off. Network, bottom network core right now, and that is Hector. They are still getting the siege though, and there's still the threat of egg. So the team fight's still pretty hard to commit into. Heck, even Hector just shows up to clear out this objective to start to invade that top jungle. So now it's again just playing with her foot in the throttle, not really stepping back, not giving too much room to breathe.
Nouns
here
is,
for DogChamp. There's a threat
not
to rotate
as
onto
far ahead,
DNM.
but
his top
definitely
jungle's not going to feel safe. And you're
at a
Terrorblade needs
comfortable
so much more farm.
position.
Like this is not the early tempo Terrorblade that you're going to be seeing joining in for mid push. This is going to be AFK farm for DNM for quite some time here.
Yeah, I don't think there's
I mean,
going
he
to...
might
To
be
be fair,
going
this
AFK
fight
in
hasn't
Mountain
had
very
super,
soon,
like,
if he dies here
energetic,
top
active
lane.
games.
DNM.
China's been, like,
DNM,
slowest
he'll get
games
roared up
ever.
Eventually, Gunner's going to be there as well to help out. DNM, however,
Will be
by
fine.
the T2 tower is going to be able to back off just fine.
I mean,
Bloody Nine does
they
scare
use
them off with
Roar,
the tombstone,
so
DNM,
he
he'll
can just
survive
use
another
Sunder if
day.
he would have it.
But I love the way Nouns are just aggressing this top side of the map. Like you got that T1 tower. Moo knows how strong he is on the Beastmaster, so he just takes this area of the map that the Terrorblade wants to farm in. And there's not really much DogChamp can do about it right
There's
now.
nothing that they can do about it right now.
They can't really contest. And their supports aren't quite ready. Moose still level 4. And you only really have the team Tombstone to threaten here in Bloody 9. And Speed is just hanging down bot. And he's the one that's gonna have to connect with Red 2 to make some of these plays to relieve some of his pressure. If they can find this bot tier 1, maybe you can start to switch the area where DNM's farming up, but it is a slower process with Gunnar just teleporting around with those travels. Like, he can just be anywhere. He's pressuring top, he defends bot.
Well, that Omni just does no damage.
And K1?
And K1's dead again.
K1 gets caught out again. K1's down. Ouch on Speed. He tips him as well.
Speed!
To be fair, K1's farming in a very peculiar area of the map. Like, you know, generally speaking, you want to farm that very southern side of the map as the POS 1 at the moment.
Yeah, K1's already gotten caught twice. That's a big fat no-no.
But I don't know, it's your jug, right? You'd rather give him the safer priority of farm. Red 2, he'll be okay in the mid lane. Just walk his way out. It's a bit hard for Gunnar as well, considering he does have the Spirit Vessel, but he's got no charges for it.
He should just die then.
Yeah, I haven't been able to really be in range to start to soak up, build some charges up.
Please, God, let's hope that there's no technical issues. What did they say?
Bloody 9 or good old Moose, if they can manage to find that kill and start to get aggressive there. You were talking about K1 there. I mean, it's rather interesting, right? Like, he's farming in the spot which is not safe, and the rotation from DogChamp was much lower committal to get that kill.
Oh, that sounds busy.
The courier bug. Yes. That's such a weird bug. Just doesn't obey you, you know?
Yeah. Can't use
just doesn't obey you.
That's great.
Yeah. Like, you
can't
click
use
on
courier,
it,
happens sometimes.
yeah, be nice.
DNM can't use courier at all. Well, you know what that means.
Wait,
John.
did
Bloody
he?
Nine's playing courier now. That's it. You're undying.
Wasn't he able to use courier at the start of the game, or
everyone is casually like, "You want to try, boys?
Only now?"
Anyone want to try? My courier is working. You sure you don't want to try again? What were you saying, John, about K1? What was your point?
I mean, it's so low committal from DogChamp, right? Like, when Nouns went in, they commit Roar early, and they just never managed to follow up. They never managed to gap close onto DNM.
Battle Fury.
DogChamp just run in. They
Not
see
the
Hector
worst timing.
Try to use the Omni to save.
Once he has it done,
just
probably.
cop enough shared damage across 2 heroes.
Unless he dies again.
The bottom lane, John. They want to try and pressure K1
Just
out of this area. I
Okay, he
appreciate
did go
the
his
fact that
play. They
Speed's
find the
taking that
Phoenix.
camp away. Is Red 2 in the meantime kills off Yamsun. K1, he might need to get the hell out of here.
Healing Ward's actually a pretty good
steal.
steal.
The creep wave, no, still sticking around, going into the hot tub, but the hot tub
Can be very surprising in a team fight.
Has already taken
Try and kill off the healing.
We know DogChamp, they are somewhat around the area, but it seems like they are going to show themselves mid. Red 2 will reveal himself in the mid lane. K1 trying to find a place to farm at the moment as the Jug. It's a bit of an awkward scenario for him because the map just does not feel safe. And very awkward for the rest of Nouns as well, because again, Gunner's playing mid-coddle, but he's got no Spirit Vessel charges, which means he can't really make the plays he's looking for. As you can see, even the Quap, like Red 2 gets jumped for a moment, just blinks away. Moo could not break the gap for the Roar out. They're going to try and at least pressure the mid-tier 1 tower while they're at it to get something out of this. And this time it seems like they should be able to get away with it.
That's a helm of the Dominator into Overlord, probably. Wait, Overlord gives you the buff these days, right? They buffed Helm of the Overlord.
Nice big objective to take.
The creep now has like a level 2 spell.
So it is going to be slightly more awkward for DNM to try to farm that
the next
area.
level spell, which is
into the triangle.
But like the Ancient Black Dragon, pretty nice.
Tombstone assist from Bloody 9. Yeah, and DNM's done a pretty good job of just dodging out any aggressive movement. Like, this is the moment where their Terrorblade's really vulnerable, and the side of Nouns hasn't really been able to capitalize on it. They are still getting that build they want. Again, Gunner is pretty much into his 4 staff now, so has some simpler ways of going in and out of these fights. The full Overlord for Moo shouldn't be too far off as well, considering the space he's had. I think you're pretty happy still.
Oh, he's going 4 staff. So yeah, now he's going for support item switch.
Or giving as much access to DogChamp as
I'd rather see him go for aggressive items, but they're not playing an aggressive game either,
once you've got, say, DNM
Yeah,
with
maybe
Manta
it's
to
okay.
dispel some of those fire spirits. That's where things can get.
I mean,
made
force
a
out
little
makes
bit
sense.
off.
You're against Primal.
Like
You
something
want
like
to
the
just
blink
get out of
BKB timing for
dodge.
speed to
Even
open up
against
these
EV, it's
fights.
pretty annoying.
The game starts to get
Speaking of which, they paused the game.
pretty rough for Nouns in certain scenarios where to jump in. Does look like we still have a bit of the courier bug, perhaps. That's rather awkward.
How is it back?
It's weird because he did deliver his Clarity and Dragonlance, but now his Yasha won't fly in.
Oh, a bit awkward for old DNM. Speaking of which, John, I couldn't help but notice Moo used that,
how do
that
you
voice
fix the
line
courier bug?
from
I don't actually know anything about the
wish
courier
I'd
bug.
learned how to read, which made me a little bit sad because that I'm pretty sure that line used to be used when you bought Necrobook on Beastmaster. Obviously, it's kind of pointless now because the item doesn't exist anymore. But you know, just a bit of history into Dota 2 for all of you that weren't there for
you know what,
Beastmaster.
Mike? Speaking of history, it's the 10-year anniversary. Nothing ever meant, in the history of Dota, in those iconic moments, no mention of Necronomicon.
No.
Isn't that nice?
No, it's
great. It's great.
No, it's not. Wait, they did have a section, didn't they?
Where? I didn't read all the description.
Now I've got to rewatch it. Well, whatever. Anyway.
Rewatch it. Rewatch what?
Wasn't there? I thought you were talking about a video for the 10th anniversary.
Of the courier then?
There was something, wasn't there? Am I thinking? I might be misremembering. I might be misremembering. Just leave me alone.
No, you're filling in gaps, Mike. You're creating new memories that never existed. I appreciate the creativity. Yeah, I appreciate the creativity, but Mike, it's not the time for it.
Yeah, that's fair. I missed the damn book, John. I miss it so much.
You're sick in the head, Mike.
Not anymore, I'm not, John. Bottom lane. Gunner? Well, Gunner might have a chance at speed here. Speed, he's got a TP available. Thing is, you don't have the damage without the Spirit Vessel charges. Like, you've got no damage on Gunner at the moment. This is just so sad to watch. Like, well, what's he meant to do? It's like, team, we need to kill somebody. I can do literally nothing without this Spirit Vessel.
To be fair, I think even with a Spirit Vessel charge, without backup, the Primal Beast is maybe a little bit too tanky for you to try to burst down with 2.3k HP. Again, your soft targets here are the Rubik, the Undying, heck, even the Terrorblade if you get the jump. They're not able to really jump on them. I think DogChamp's been very disciplined with where they've been on the map. They've only really been showing speed on the map, maybe Red 2 a couple of times. DNM's farming in very safe spots. The supports not sticking their necks out. So they're not giving these openings to Nouns to try to snowball.
Okay.
Granted, again, Nouns, they're getting
Are we going to get
space.
to see some action?
Does have his Battle Fury up. So Hector can just kind of build into that Manta, build into the Butterfly, start to become that menace, and should be able to start catching up to DNM, who doesn't have that huge of a lead over the Jug at this point. Very equal farm distribution across the board. Less than 1k or around a 1k lead coming out from Nouns, but a rather even game still, 3-4. And we did expect this matchup to be quite close, despite a lot of people probably just looking at Nouns as the outright favorite. Roach does begin here for Nouns, though.
Very quiet game. I mean, we talked about it being close just there for a moment, John. It's 3-4, 16 minutes in, so both teams are playing quite cautiously of each other, respecting each other's ability to win this game number 1 out. Roshan is indeed going down, and it is going down freely. There is no contest. It seems like the side of DogChamp just have no idea it's happening. However, they may have just found Gunner. They know he's alone now that Roshan has gone down, but it seems like Red's not going to make the jump in anyway. It was only him and Moose around the area, so chances are they wouldn't have had the easiest time taking down the Coddle. And sadly for DogChamp, like, they lose Roshan. Sure, it does buy you time to get some core items up, but you don't really get any objectives.
Okay, so they have the Aegis.
It's a bit of a loss here for DogChamp.
First Aegis, whatever.
Yeah, they're not really able to try to force anything out. Just maybe didn't feel quite safe down bot.
Speed does have
been hanging around
BKB.
there with everyone missing. Could have been a viable target to jump.
That's a big one.
Mid's still relatively healthy. Gunner's just clearing out the creep waves. So it is challenging to try to dig into these
Speed's
lanes.
actually very far.
Just by virtue of Gunner
Oh
playing
yeah,
Koppel.
he's level 10
Let's
on
see
the
if they
feet.
can
It does help
manage to
that they picked
find
up
something.
those
Smoke out here with the sports.
That's a great
three
ward.
runes. Oh,
Speed's got the
punch
vision.
forward.
He's got the info. He'll see
Nice
Gunner, but
staff.
a nice 4-star away. Going to save
Sunray,
his team for now.
Phoenix Egg.
However, Gunner going to get taken out. The egg, it is committed, but it does really nothing yet.
Oh, no, it does.
All still underneath, getting stunned up as now
Oh.
the Omni Slash. K1, but it bounces to the Undying. It bounces right towards the
they don't
Undying,
kill
the
the
lowest
primal.
priority target. They will still find moves as a second.
You only find 2 supports for Gunner. That's actually not too
also successfully
value.
protecting. Never mind, the mid-tier one.
I mean, they did use a bunch. No, it's definitely not value. Tier 1 lost.
It's not the worst scenario
one
for
trade
either
for
team, I would dare say, but losing the mid-tier 1 and Gunner at the same time probably
Top
doesn't feel very nice.
XP as well.
It certainly doesn't.
And top
Omni Slash
net worth.
as well falls a little bit flat for K1. So that's going to be on cooldown for another 80 seconds. That's an opening for the side of DogChamp if they want to try to
If
jump
Gunner
that
just
jug.
hit it slightly to the
And
side,
you know,
the
you're
top
forcing
side, he
your jug
would
to
have
come
gotten out.
Whereas DNM, in comparison, again, is just sitting in that jungle, AFK farming.
Kinda went the wrong
building up
direction
to
there.
whatever he wants. Full Manta up and running as well in that Terrorblade.
And Primal
So
just charging
you're
away
fine
like
with
it's
these trades.
nothing.
You're maybe a little bit happier even on the side of DogChamp, considering that your support losses don't feel as bad compared to Gunner not picking up that many charges on his Spirit Vessel. At least with him dying, he gets 1 charge. That's something.
Speed, Onslaught, looking for the Ancient Black Dragon. Not going to quite be able to secure the kill onto that.
He's got that Ancient Black
back
Dragon,
them off from this
baby.
tier 2
So
tower,
he's
but it
can
will
constantly keep cutting the
be
creep.
safe
But
for
Gunner's
now.
going
Okay,
Octarine already.
K, we
Oh,
found
boy.
the vision.
Look at that farming
K1.
spot.
Yeah.
If they grab him, he's as good as gone, I think.
They can
But
still
he will
grab
get the
him.
Spin off in time, but they
Doesn't
do
have
also
he's
commit
got
the
Aegis.
Pulverize. K1. He's lost the Aegis.
Pop used his Sonic
That's
Wave
a
just then,
start.
right?
Can they get him a second time?
Oh, nice
I don't
cookie.
think they can, but they
Very
can
nice
try.
cookie. That was a
K1,
really
he
good
will
cookie.
be
They
safe.
broke the Rubik
Only
lift.
back him in 15 as well, so there is a chance he could force a fight with his team. Though you don't have that secondary life now, so you may not be feeling too good about it.
No, definitely not. Aegis, not the way you wanted it to be utilized here on Nouns for sure.
I mean, it kept him
Aggressive
alive,
farm coming
so
out, not
it's value.
respecting any sort of control from DogChamp. And they're not going to be able to find that much else off the back of that. Like, tier 2 still stand, no pressure there, no team fights really coming out from that Aegis for the side of Nouns. A very even game still, 5-5, 2k lead coming out for Nouns. Very marginal lead, really just down to how underfarmed Bloody 9 is as the Undying, but that's to be expected sometimes in your pause 5. Everyone else still rather even. And I think in an even matchup for Jug versus Terrorblade, it still feels pretty alright for Jug, but you really are just tied into that Omni here.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, a little bit later on down the line, the Swift Slash will come out, but that's still a long time away. It's interesting, too, because Nouns, like, they might be very confident in their own late game, but DogChamp are more than happy to just play the farming game. Like, at the end of the day, you've still got a Terrorblade late game that you're playing with. It's nothing to really scoff at. And so DogChamp, they're just okay with trading this farm. It's still a 3k advantage the way of Nouns, but that's really not anywhere near enough to have that huge advantage you're looking for. Nouns, they're going to push the tier 2 top tower now. They may get away with this for free. But it really does seem like the Dire, or maybe they do care. Rotations are coming. It is a bit late, the tier 2 is gone, but they'll try to punish with the smoke rotation. But I don't think it's going to be that easy. K1, however, pulverize out. K1, oh, he's still alive.
Does he actually get away?
Spin is out. K1's going to make it. He's going to make it
K1
another
barely
day.
survives.
How does
But
he survive that?
Moo's now dead in response.
They'll lose Moo perhaps. Moo
Phoenix
trying
Egg.
to run, but does go down. But it seems like DogChamp, that's about all they're going to get away
Yeah,
with.
they lose
They'll
Moo.
have to leave, at least for now, as the egg does explode, but Speed is rushing in for more. After Yamsun, he goes. Nice blinding light, though, from Gunner, ensuring the onslaught would be cancelled. And Yamsun, he'll be able to TP out just fine. But how the hell does K1 survive that initiation?
He's managed to get that spin off. Not enough damage coming in. Maybe just lacking the right click right now to try to dig in. And they had some good spacing.
Ooh, how was it? Like, there's no way. What happened to the Sonic Wave? Did it deal no damage or something? Like, it felt like it did nothing.
It connected. It's just wasn't enough. Once the spin comes out, your trample doesn't do much.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for Nouns at the moment. They're 3k ahead and they're up against Terrorblade. K1's finally top net worth, but the 2 deaths early game really hampered his farm really heavily, and now he's been caught twice. Where one of them should have probably been his death, definitely. Like, I'm a little bit worried that Nouns will lose this game.
And you still find a bit of a win for DogChamp.
Not really doing anything on the map.
You've committed a lot in that fight.
And I don't necessarily know if you really want to play the ultra late game against EB.
And for the side of Nouns, they've got
I mean, the plus side is you can kite him out in the ultra late game, but what's K1 have?
Coming out next.
Once that butterfly
is up, you're gonna have to try to make. You're gonna have to really try to get that burst play out onto K1. It just doesn't feel like you have enough magical burst just yet. So chances are, if you couldn't kill him before, you're probably not going to kill him after the fact. DNM's not going to be able to deal with that until he gets his own MKB. They'll find their Tormentor at the very least, so could have a nice free shard coming out. Bloody Nine with something like the Grab Ally.
Oh, Grab Ally.
And he does get to pick it up.
I mean, to be fair, both their supports have insanely good.
Spot of trouble. Always big. That spell still terrorizes
I get him
a lot
shards.
Yeah, obviously, it's still very, very strong ability, and
Moose steals the healing ward.
Things, right? Like, just
so right now, you definitely want to find a decent team fight. Gunner, I think he's got Octarine done.
The team fight can be just huge.
Yeah, but look at his items; they actually don't do anything.
Might just run right into Gunner, but no, does avoid the meeting. I suppose is the way to put it. Is they are fighting over an ancient camp at the moment. Gunner eventually gonna see him, but not really within range. Does get the solar bind off, but that's about it. Moose will be fine to survive. Nouns looking to pressure the bottom tier 2 tower. They'll take some ancient stacks for themselves.
I don't really know what the plan is here. They're just not getting the fight they want. K1 is farming, but
DogChamp and their ability to fight back right now, they will back their way out of here. I just don't know who
next Roche I think is going to be an important one. Who takes next Roche sets the speed in the game.
The Terrorblade, however, like DNM's getting to his Eye of Skadi timing very soon, and this is a TB that was really having a pretty bad laning stage against Moo. He's completely recovered now. It's like, how comfortable are you dragging this out to a later stage of the game?
Exactly, Quap's almost on the Ags. You got Eye of Skadi to deal with.
You're still fairly comfy. I think your team fight scales up well. You've got a lot of utility that can still come through.
But he has pipe.
Gunner Ags down the line still.
Why does he have pipe? I guess it's good against the Scream of Pain and the Q with the Ags from Quap. And I guess Primal Trample, but it doesn't do anything against TB, and Sonic Wave is pure damage as well.
It hasn't done much. Again, they didn't really capitalize and look for some of these early pickoffs, so the snowballing for Gunner isn't there. At the same time, it doesn't feel like it matters too much, and Gunner's still finding farm. Granted, it's true to back.
But they are 4K ahead, so it's definitely not bad.
But it's not like Moo really mines right now on his Beastmaster. It's not like you're taking that space away from K1. So overall, it kind of works out.
Just to get the ward range?
Your concern for DogChamp is really just the butterfly timing, like you were mentioning. I think the scaling is fine for DogChamp as well, but the butterfly will cause some issues for DNM. Again, having to farm up the MKB is going to be a little bit painful. Your magical burst isn't the best, but you do have the Ags up on red too, so that could help in trying to
manage that. Ags is going to do so much damage in team fights.
Here we go. Smoke up behind K1. Of course, the smoke is fairly obvious. It's not going to be too surprising here for the side of DogChamp, but seems like they are prepping.
Okay, one nice man to dodge.
But K1 is okay.
Roar interrupts. He gets back. Tombstone used.
They do commit the roar.
And the Tombstone. I think the Tombstone's a bigger loss in this
fight. Time to reset. Probably don't want to force this fight without roar if you can avoid it.
Because that's the save.
Like
now you could like jump someone and nuke him.
So Speed's gonna have it back up in about 10 seconds. Not a big deal.
Yeah, not the biggest commitment. The bigger thing is forcing out that BKB, but Roar was sacrificed for that. So you have a little bit of an opening with Moo not having that saving play. Should be able to get at least one pulverize off in the next fight.
Oh, speed.
Oh, nice
Finding
interrupt.
Light's going to cancel the onslaught, and now the Omni does get committed. Those
Glimmer.
the Glimmer Cape and the Crimson Guard will survive.
No vision.
And now K1, he's the
They
one
get the
being
catch.
chased down.
Phoenix
They'll
egg.
get the pulverize off.
It's going.
Focus the egg first, though.
K1 on the run.
They will get Yamsun.
Sonic Wave slows him
K1
down.
is still being chased with the Eye
K1.
of Skadi slow. He's having a tough time getting out. But the cookie will allow him to run.
What just
the
healed
chase
him to max?
continues. K1 is just being targeted. DogChamp
Oh,
will not leave him
K1's dead
alone.
again? How many deaths does he have?
Two
My
down
guy.
for Nouns. DogChamp, they lose nothing for all of this. And I'll tell you this,
I actually
they're
thought
looking
more.
confident.
Yeah, they're gonna go Roche.
That they are. I mean,
They're gonna
it's
pick
down
Roche.
to that
Get
earlier
Roche.
commitment.
They're gonna get that Aegis
from
cheese.
speed, right? He comes in, he pops BKB Pulverize, he forces out the Roar. And with Pulverize's cooldown as low as it is, as you mentioned there, Mike, he's just free to take the next fight. He knows Roar is down. He knows he can get that control for the Jug. They force out the egg. You have enough attack speed on the
There's
Quap
no
and
meta,
Terrible
but
to kind of deal
without
with
the
that.
Jug,
But
there's
Fire
also
Spirits
no
don't
fight.
land on them. It did not
And also
connect
no
in that
Omni
fight.
Slash, though. But
So
see,
kinda
like the
rogue.
Axe is gonna be
Equalize
big
the
if
game here on DogChamp.
he
They have
finishes
Roche
it
Axes
on the
coming out
Juggernaut.
here as well.
I think the Axe is gonna be the huge
And that
one,
should
though.
lead to some
Because that
tier
means he
twos
doesn't
start
have to
fall
commit the
here from
full
the side of
Omni
Nouns.
Slash, and he can
And
use the
this
Swift
is Rush
Slash.
number 2 as well. With
Just
Cheese.
heal up
So
from
you
the
have two
crits.
heroes that you're going to have to worry about healing up in the middle here. And now it's just, again, like playing a lot more defensively. Like after the Roar not forcing.
Roche
anything
is
onto
already
the
dead.
T2
You're
and
too late,
instantly
guys.
Trying to jump into the back. They don't
trying to
really
reach it,
have
but
high mobility
They make it.
on Nouns as well to jump in the back line.
They can't make it in time. They're trying to get there into that Roshan pit, but Roshan's gone.
Yeah, they're
Question is,
gonna
can they
TP
fight?
out.
GNM's already TPing out, so you've lost the TB opportunity.
They
Red
left
2
the
is
cheese
sticking
there,
around,
and
does
Red
take
2
the
walks
cheese,
in.
But also blinks out as Bloody 9. Can they get him? No, he TPs.
They have
Moves
no
us out
way
as
of
well.
interrupting
They catch
TPs.
nobody.
They got Cookie Stun, and they got
Oh,
Roar.
that's a bit upsetting.
They're gonna need
Aegis,
the...
cheese, both taken, and nobody
Yeah,
dies
that
from
one. The
DogChamp.
Scythe of Ice on Gunner.
Yeah, it's
Which is
just a little
actually
bit
getting
too late.
pretty close.
They just, you know, they lost that last fight. They had to respawn. They had to make their way up. Just not enough time. But how fast Roche does get cleared out here for the side of DogChamp. And DogChamp, they're in control now. Like this ag spike for Red 2 has just been massive. When we talked about a lack of burst. This helps to mitigate some of that, add some more damage coming in. Helps you start to clear out. And again, in these prolonged fights, the Quap starts to become a massive issue. But you're forced to save your Roar for that Pulverize. To have control through the BKB.
What stats?
So it's a matter of making
Oh,
that
those
decision
stats.
here on Nouns and trying to find that angle for the counterplay. But DogChamp aren't making it simple. And I love this build-up from Speed, going straight into the Octarine, having even lower cooldown on Pulverize, having more uptime for the Trample, for the Onslaught. Like, it's going to be really oppressive if you can't find a way of dealing with that Primal Beast. And there's no easy answer. Magical Burst doesn't matter when the BKB is up. Physical output doesn't matter when he has his Crimson Guard. Like, we saw him.
Yeah, no, he is
comp
just really freaking tanky
most
on
of
the
the Omni
Primal.
Slash until the saves came in, and it just wasn't doing enough damage onto speed.
It's a
This
big
Primal
boy.
Beast really is the big issue right now for Nouns.
The only one that really
because they have
deals
to reward
damage
him
is
with
Jug
Pulverize, that
because
means
of
Red
the
2 is
item
free to
builds
jump
that the
around.
other two went
There's
for.
basically
Like,
no other source of
this
control outside of Roar that's
does no
consistent here.
damage.
Yeah.
This does no damage. This actually
It's kind of the thing.
does
It's
a bit of
player like
damage.
Speed as well. Like if you watch the guy's guides, John, he
Like
tells
Phoenix,
you just run,
Sunray,
he creeps the
max
whole game.
level,
He
that
will
actually
increase
is
your
pretty
odds of
good.
winning, and that's kind of what they did on DogChamp.
And Snap.
right?
Honestly, the
just found
supports are the ones that
just
do
hitting
the
crit.
most damage on the side
the
of
later this game
Nouns.
goes on, the better chance we have of being able to pull off a win against Nouns, and they are certainly doing exactly just that. Zgana finally has an item that he can actually use. Sight the Vice coming out now for the Coddle. Still 0 charges in that Spirit Vessel. He just has not had an opportunity to get a charge off. And I'm sure if we had the pleasure of talking to Gunnar like right after this game, I can assure you he'd be very frustrated about the fact that he has had 0 usage of this item.
It does give him a bunch
I
of
feel
HP.
like Gunnar is almost never frustrated. The guy just understands
That's
that
how
things
he
aren't going.
acts. That's how he acts.
Oh, Mike's the mind reader now. Hey guys, get a load of this guy. He can read minds. Holy Mike. So insightful.
Mid
Gunnar,
lane,
read some
think of
minds,
the devil,
Gunnar.
Gunnar could be in trouble. They've got Moose. Moose is down.
Hey, he
Nice
gets
little
There's a
engagement
charge.
for
charges.
He's
And
got a
that's
Spirit
Ags
Vessel
done
jump.
on Jug.
There you go.
Bloody 9. Look at the impact here, Jump. He's forced the tombstone.
It doesn't really do much. He's down to 1 charge. So hey, you know, Bloody 9 does bait out.
Better than 0.
Thompson's just farming on the
Better
other
than
side
0,
of the
I
map.
suppose. Tombstone is down, but Not the longest cooldown at 75, I suppose. Could get the talent as well to speed that up, but not quite investing just yet here. Bloody9.
Okay, one wants to get Shadow Blade.
Still have everything else outside of that on.
Oh, there's a gem on Undying. They need that.
Speed may get caught. This would be a massive.
Yeah, he's not gonna die.
The device locking him down. Speed roared up as well. Surely
or is he?
No way out. He gets the BKB.
Stop hitting.
No Speed is running. Speed has made it. Speed has survived.
He actually gets out.
Speed is Moo. Moo's being chased.
They did use meta,
gets out.
but Red.
Scotty slows her out. Shadow Strike slows her
A1
out.
pushing
Moo
high
gonna
ground.
try for a TP play. Will make it. He's all right. Nothing to cancel. Gunner's being chased now, but the side device to lock Red 2 down. Red's still chasing him, but ultimately not going to find him.
They managed to force out DNM's usage once more of that metamorphosis. So the follow-up fight for DogChamp, not quite going to be
Next
there.
Roche, I guess. And Roche number 3. It spawns on the Dire side, so it's going to be advantageous for the Dire team.
Forcing out
the refresher shard, double
is pretty big.
Pulverize.
We talk about the 3-2-2. We talk about
double
the 420
egg.
score lines, but we've got the 6-8 right now. Very, very exciting.
I think Yamson's very dead.
There's not too much else going on in the game right now, so we're going to find something to talk about. Trying to help you here, Jonathan. I know you're struggling to find some points. Yamson. Lincoln's break. Moo did commit the raw to break that Lincoln, so he'll find out the hard way that.
Well, he's going to need to get like a 4-staff. I think Heaven's Halberd would probably be a good choice.
I wonder if the Hawk actually breaks Lincolns. Do you reckon it does?
No.
The dive?
I could have sworn it did from my experience yesterday, but I cannot 100% remember. So I'm gonna.
Yeah,
I'm going to test that right now.
I feel like it does.
In demo.
Then again, waiting for your Hawk to dive the Quap first is probably not a very sound play. It's not a sound play, but in the middle of a team fight, it could happen, and that could make or break for Red 2 in some, I guess, very specific circumstances. Red 2 trying to solo the Tormentor. Well, DNM's here now to help him out, so another shard going their way. Moves plays on the edge just a bit. We are getting speed shards, so it's an alright one. Rock throw, I guess. You don't really have anything. You don't really have anything to connect to. I guess in Roshan is really where we see this be massive, but we shall see if Speed can make use of that. He is going for his own.
It actually does pop Lincolns.
21-second cooldown on Pulverize.
Oh my god!
Love to see it.
Beastmaster's Hawk pops Lincolns.
Have it any other way. This is 6-8, 34 minutes in. I mean, it's a very close match, and it seems like if you judge the game by the scoreline, it might look like a boring game, but it really isn't. There's just so many things going on, and one bad team fight for either team is really going to give a huge advantage the other way. The Nouns, they've got to play so carefully in some sense, because they might have this small advantage, but again, one bad fight, and suddenly they're just knocking on your high ground.
Yeah, it can flip in a blink of the eye. Like this game is really just, it's hanging. As you get this prolonged tension, that explosion when the tension's released is going to be even wider.
Yeah, no.
Can they break the Lincolns of Red 2? They can break the Lincolns, get the roar off, or they can. Side devices out from Gunner. They've got the lockdown on Red, but now the question is, do they have the damage? Baby. And the answer is not quite yet. Red will survive another day as Gunner's going to be chased down by Speed. He'll be all right for now. Moo instead the one to go down. Rock throw out, catching Willis.
Wait, what?
Speed, he'll blink forward, trying to grab.
A lot of people surviving on the brink of death.
Not going to work for him yet. Blinding light allowing the distance, but now the onslaught forward. Still the hex out from Gunner. Ensure that Speed cannot continue the chase. But they'll get themselves a nice kill. They'll save Red 2. They'll push out the top lane, and I suppose that it's all about the next Roshan for both sides.
Yep, and the next Roshan is...
It's all about Roche control.
When?
Might start to escalate there. If Nouns did find it, if this was a quick Roche, that could have been a big opening for them. We'll see if it is a quick one, as we have a few seconds left until we see that respawn. You are getting bigger and bigger in K1 as he's left alone here. Full Ags up, Swift Slash ready to go. Has the Abyssal Blade up and running as well, so even more total control coming out for the side of Nouns. And unfortunately for DogChamp, it is a slower Roche. 2 minutes until the respawn. Should still be a nighttime Roche up top, but you've got openings here for
What does
Nouns to
Red
kind of
2
take
actually
control in that
have?
area.
Scythe already?
6 to 9 being the number there right
Lincoln's,
now. Very nice number to have
Axe,
in their
Kaya
scoreline.
Sanj.
And you know what this takes me back to?
Oh, yeah,
It
you
takes me
can.
back to
Yeah, he's got a bunch of cash, so he can buy something pretty big.
For Polaris versus Talon, 45 minutes, no F10K.
Link Dagger.
Could get that here.
Yeah.
Who knows?
4-staff Glimmer. I mean, at this stage, you're
36
looking at
minutes,
probably
you know?
nullifiers.
F10K, who knows?
Deal with
Don't taunt the betting
the
crowd,
tools that they
please.
have. TV going
We learned that
Hurricane.
5 years ago when we first started. You never taught the betting crowd.
Yeah, but you know, it was them that was making fun of the game too. It's like
Okay, he's
F10K,
going Kai
and it's
Sanchez. No, he's going
45
E-Blade
minutes, and
actually
you're
on
like, oh
Kato.
yeah, right.
Well, look,
That's the thing.
Lotus on
Well, they can laugh
Snapfire.
at themselves.
That's...
It's fine, but you know when they get upset,
It doesn't really do much
you
this
know?
game.
Don't gamble if you get
It
upset.
gets rid of like it's
That's my
walk
rule.
dot.
Yeah.
And Sunder Reflect, I
High
guess.
ground
Well,
begins.
it does
Just a
do a bit actually. I
damage onto
lied.
tier
I lied to you. It does
That
do a
does give
significant amount this
Nouns
game.
rush control, which is still 40 seconds away, and they managed to they did manage to shove out
The double hawk.
So the split push kicking in a little bit with the anti-illusions, forcing some movement back. They can't really commit for their own push, which is maybe a bit unfortunate for DogChamp. Like if they will trade away this Roche, a tier 3 high ground threat is probably the one way to force Nouns back, but maybe looking to force the fight into Roche instead.
Dude, it's 8 to 9. This patch
I mean,
is
it's 10
hella
seconds away.
Pepe
This
hands.
could be a massive, massive deal for either team.
But yeah, you can have 4 hawks at the same
This is the
time.
third Roshan. Like, there's just so many items available in this next Roche. You can't really afford to give it away if you are Nouns. The whole advantage you have on Nouns could just disappear after this Roshan if it is given the way of DogChamp. So important to not get caught with your pants down. Keep in mind, K1 is huge now. Like,
They wait 2
this
more
guy is
minutes.
massive
Roche
on
goes to
jump.
the dire side,
Get
radiant
everything
side.
you'd
You get a
really
free
ask
axe.
for. He'll go in for the Roshan. He'll get it started as Red 2. He'll lose his Lincolns. So wary of where moves.
Look at that. The Hawks are taking care of the Roche Lincoln.
On the Beastmaster. Red 2 casually walks into the Roshan pit and scouts out. Can they guess Yamsun's position? I mean, he's right in the corner. They'll get the tombstone down. The tombstone will not reach the Phoenix, so they cannot see it. No zombies spawning. In comes K1. Hex out. They've got the quap with that. Red 2. He'll get roared up to bit,
That
but
was
he's
the Swift
taking no
Slash.
damage. Red is just standing his ground.
And nothing
Nobody
happened.
really able to focus him down, so the quap's going to be just fine. And now without the roar up, Roshan, it feels a lot freer.
Someone in
Keep in
chat
mind, they
just said
still have
most
the
sweating
Omni.
first 10 kills in
They have
history.
the Swift
Monka
Slash
S.
back up,
That is very
but they
true.
don't have those big disables.
I mean,
Here we go again. Roshan. Very, very
Yamsun.
low. Yamsun's now moving in. Icarus, I have to provide the vision, but it's still too
Gonna
healthy.
try and stay alive,
In goes
Glimmer.
Speed now with the onslaught. He caught Yamsun. They've got a bit of a
Oh,
Swift slash
lift,
on K1.
save.
He found Red 2, but Red, he's able to blink out.
Red 2 gets
It's
out, but
bloody
Roche is
9
dead.
to go down, but Roshan is
And Meta's
still
over.
alive.
So they get
DogChamp, they've got
Roche.
to try for this, I think, but no, it's too late. They've got to leave.
And that's the Aegis Cheese
Huge win for
Refresher
Nouns.
Shard.
Maybe a little bit forced coming out from DogChamp. No Pulverize coming out from Speed to try to pin down that Phoenix. And it just kind of collapses from there. Really clutch play from Bloody Nine, though, with a sacrifice. Like that Glimmer Cape out onto Red 2 meant that you were only sacrificing the Undying. So
Well,
things
that
could have
gives
gone
them
a
an
lot
opportunity
worse
here.
there for the side of
What?
DogChamp.
I sorry, John. I can't believe I'm making the joke now, but we still didn't break F10K after that
Yeah.
fight. I can't
7 to
believe
9.
it.
Isn't it great? The magic of Dota 2, Mike. 40 minutes in, 16 kills. Are we in NA or Southeast Asia?
We might be in League of Legends at this point, John. I'll tell you. It's,
What's that? I don't remember that. I don't know
it's
what that
garbage,
is. Mike.
Jonathan. It's garbage.
Is that the anime? I think that's an anime, right?
But it's the better
Hard-
anime
hard
of the
to call
two.
it that.
Or at least
Fan
that
service.
is
I'll
what
give
I've
it
been
that.
told.
Anyway, moving in. Hold on a minute. K1. He's all right. He'll get 4-staffed out. The jump is there from Red 2 with the Sonic Wave. He'll commit.
And they'll all fall
Really
back.
going forward.
Or
Red
attempt
2
to
is
fall
not
back.
afraid of anything right now.
Speed.
So many shadow strikes, and now with the Pulverize locking down one.
DNM doesn't have
Where the
meta.
hell's he
What
going?
was that?
I have no idea, John.
Jeez.
Speed, he's in trouble. He'll onslaught away. In fact, never mind, he gets roared away. Who are they aiming? Red 2 in the back, just taking so much attention.
No one is dying.
So much attention being taken by this quap. Just continues to commit these shadow strikes with the Ags up. Coming in again, Red 2, just afraid of nothing apparently. Here we go. out. Sight device, shadow strike, more shadow strikes, hex out.
Gunner even has bots too.
Blink forward out. Red 2 landing another shadow strike, but in comes the Omni slash no K1.
Bruh.
It was not actually an Omni. I don't believe it was really nothing. Swift slash also available. The hell was that?
It was wild.
Did he
Nothing happened.
I think he refreshed.
Yeah. They did have the refresh shard on hand.
So there was an Omni.
Does have his.
So they
Yeah, he
used
did commit the
cheese
Omni
and
earlier,
refresher
and Swift
shard,
Slash as well.
and they did like
DogChamp,
half
they do a
damage
great
to
job
the
of,
enemy's tier 3
forcing some
tower.
resources out. Cheese gone, refresh shard gone. The gem's still hanging around here. That's a little bit upsetting here, Mike. Bloody Nine has his gem just sitting there, no one picking it up, but it's perfectly fine. 7-9, still no 10 kills.
No.
42 minutes in. I believe our record in that Southeast Asian match, Mike, was 45 minutes. So we'll see if
Okay.
DogChamp can just
Oh,
not
here we go.
die.
Gunner.
Oh,
As you said, John.
He does have the
Glasgow.
Aegis.
oh.
There you go. Gunner's gone.
Goodbye.
Oh, it was an Aegis. Never mind. There's a chance, Jonathan. There's a
Oh.
chance that we don't see it.
Oh, the rock
throw
boulder
does
throw.
land.
Nah, they don't
They'll
have the
lift him
damage
up.
to kill
Gunner,
him.
though, he'll survive. He'll just walk out
Gunner's
of there
just
with
Gucci.
the ethereal blade. No 10 kills.
7-9. 2.5 more minutes, Mike. Break that record for us.
But they do lose the Aegis. They do lose the
Yeah,
Aegis.
it doesn't count. Doesn't matter. What does the Aegis doing here anyway? It hasn't really led to anything. Mikey, the game's
No.
still the same.
Yeah.
From Lincoln's into
I
Shadow
don't really
Blade?
care. You know, I don't think DogChamp cares. Nouns maybe cares a little
I
bit.
would have assumed he'd go
marginally,
for Swiftling,
not too much.
because like he sold his
and we're
boots, so he
gonna-
doesn't actually have.
Yeah. It could be a very
And he
long
gets
game.
movement
Like,
speed from
this
the
is one of
spin,
those
but
tier
still.
5 item kind of games.
I would say it's already a long game, Mike. At this time, this is already long.
Don't get antsy, Jonathan. Right? We've had every day of qualifiers has been 2 O's for us. So we might be able to afford a long day, John. I reckon you and I can work for once.
Yeah, it's true. You know what? This is actually just I don't know, maybe Fear cursed us. You know, the series they casted, I believe, was again around 45 minutes Felt versus Bait in total. So, yeah, I guess Fear's like, oh, we had a really fast day. I'm hoping Mike has a really long one. There you go.
It's about
Beef
what he would
continues,
say.
Mike.
Yeah.
Gunner's
sure
got
that's exactly
almost the
what he
full
said.
equipped ags. Well, he has the full ags.
Stupid.
And
this
that
the-
is
the
actually a
one
big
thing,
one.
Mike. In all your beef with
Yeah,
Fear,
no,
Fear has
that
the upper
ags
hand.
is
You know why?
such a
'Cause he doesn't
distraction in
care.
team fights.
doesn't
Gives
even
you a
think
lot
of
of
it.
vision as well,
Not even an iota
and
of thought for
really
you.
destroys Primal Beast
Hold
in
on,
any
Jonathan
moves he wants
Red.
to make.
Breaks smoke on Moo, realizes something's wrong, and just blinks away. Very, very nice. However, still showing Lincoln's broken red. No, he won't get jumped. Moo wasn't within range and doesn't really have anything like a blink anyway. Lift up though, K1.
Lincoln got popped on
Slow it up.
K1.
Rock throw will land, landing on a couple in fact. K1 still just fine. The annoying thing is, like, these Shadow Strike spams coming out from Red 2, they are just incredibly hard to deal with.
That it is. Forces them back just a tad bit. Tier 3 gone, so at least the
Bottom
Raps
lane keeps
exposed.
getting
There was
pushed
a little
in.
bit of a shove down bot. Hector just opts to dodge out. So there's some progress on the
I mean,
map.
it's TI
Still
qualifier, so I
7-9,
get it.
but that's no problem
Everyone
here.
is like terrified
As long
of
as some
losing. 'cause
buildings fall,
if
you're
you
more than
lose, you're
happy
out, and
for the
that's
side of
the
Nouns.
end of your TI dreams. But still,
Red 2 again. Moving.
Hector just opts to dodge out.
Be a little bit cautious though. Oh, Red 2, very aggressive blink in.
Oh.
They
Jump
break
in.
the Lincolns. Onslaught is out.
Oh,
Speed
Quap
to try
dead.
and help Red though. He is gone.
that's
and
a big
so is Speed.
reveal.
K1 with a perfect Omni, and Red will get tipped by
Big
everyone on Nouns.
Ignis reveal.
Oh,
Oh
goodness.
boy, I mean they were under double wards to boot. Like they had so much vision of Red blinking.
It should
in so
force out a
aggressively,
buyback
and
at least. I mean,
Nouns
they
just
can't
with
get
the- with
mega,
the
so maybe
patience
they
to wait
won't
for
buy
him to make
back.
that mistake. You love to see it. And it's
I love to see it
9-9. Oh my
9-9.
god.
45 minutes. I think we've crossed that threshold, Mike. They've done it.
Primal buy, but
Mid-range.
Quap doesn't buy back yet, and Quap is the one that
Mid-ranks under
is
siege.
like keeping them from
DogChamp
finishing
not
racks.
looking to buy back on the Quap, it seems. So they did commit
Like
the
I'd
buyback
rather
on
have the
speed,
Quap buyback than
Rock
I'd
throw
have
does land on
the
K1. But it seems like the mid-racks
Primal,
is certainly
because
going to be
you
full.
don't really.
No protecting. Swift slash.
K1?
K1. Feeling a little bit aggressive.
And does some
But he'll be
weird
fine
shit.
to back his way out. a secondary site device now coming out on Moo to boot, by the way. So even more hexes
should be a second set of racks. Then I guess wait/fight around the Roche pit again.
Has to be really cautious, especially with that
It does respawn in 1 to 4 minutes.
Just that sleep, just that little bit of taunt, forcing away the side of DogChamp. And all of a sudden, 2 racks up for Nouns. 11k lead, 9-9 somehow. But DogChamp, their backs are against the wall now. Just one objective to play for. They do have a tier 2 tower to protect. They've got to be able to find a way to take the next Roche. Like, they cannot afford to give it out. They need these secondary lives. They need that utility grid.
Red, not again. Oh, he can't.
Red? Oh. Seeping into danger. That's a
well, they only need the tier 2 tower bottom to try and get megas.
Right now, Speed. He's jumped in. He found moves on the Beastmaster, but a big.
Oh, he didn't have Omni Slash on K1. If he had Omni Slash there, he probably would have gotten a kill, or maybe even 2.
They've got no tools left.
I think Moo's dead.
To really fight this one out.
Yep.
They'll commit the egg at the very least, but they will lose Moo. However,
the gem?
Sunray, this egg making it very hard to
Gem's
continue
on deck.
chasing, but they can now go.
After
finish committed. Lelis trying for a TP out, but is going to be just fine to make it. In fact, they could not cancel.
I mean, if they'll have everyone, yeah, he's got Scythe as well. If they have everyone alive, that timeless rally, this is a really fun co-op.
You can't underestimate the impact. The K1, bottom lane, on the cliff. Oh, the rock throw.
Bro, K1.
And Bloody Nine knows. Bloody Nine knows. They'll get the Undying kill, but K1.
Bro, K1.
Who would win, John? A Juggernaut or a pile of rocks being thrown by Speed? Apparently Speed wins.
Just a pile of rocks. Can't underestimate them rocks flying into your head. It's a force of nature, Mike. And all of a sudden, we're at 10-11. So we've broken the curse. DogChamp managed to find some wins. Roshan's still a long way from respawning, unfortunately, but they do have room to clear out, maybe have access onto the bot tier tree. Good creep skipping here by Red 2. We'll have to manage to shove in as they manage to catch one. Well, no, they catch one Ancient Granite Golem creep, but that's worth a hex, I suppose.
Yeah. A lot of gold there for them. Bit of a shame. DogChamp may not realize that they actually had like 80 seconds without the Juggernaut because K1 didn't have buyback gold either. It's actually 600 gold.
Roche is up in... Actually, I think it might be a Radiant Roche respawn.
We get to see a bit of a rock throw right there onto K1. Perfect. Apparently didn't give the vision of the high ground of the cliff, so the Bloody Nine had to sacrifice himself to secure the kill onto K1, but nevertheless, a perfect rock throw from Speed, and it is really one of those spells that you just kind of underestimate.
Yeah, it's a Radiant Roche.
Forget about rock throw even existing, but
so it's going to be a free Ags Roche.
That it does.
That's a big, scary Roche.
It actually have that much impact.
Because who do you give a free Ags to on either side?
Speed.
I mean, Radiant,
control's gonna be a little bit harder
I guess you'd give it probably to maybe to Phoenix for a quick save.
It will be a daytime Roche though.
Beastmaster is also nice. Snapfire is also not that bad because it's another save. I think on the other side you'd probably give it to... he can build his own.
Could be a daytime Roche.
I would say you give it to Primal because the break
to
is actually very good this game against the Juggernaut.
Progress DogChamp has made in this game. And just gives them the edge once more, because they are still 2 racks off.
They're coming, John. Keep in mind, Nouns, they have 3 site device up now. Yamson has a hex to boot, so it's so much control on Nouns for this next fight. Bloody Nine doesn't actually have a TP. He's walking the old-fashioned way with a smoke. So the Undying's not going to make it in time for this fight if Nouns started right now. Bloody Nine is still running, though. He's getting very close to this stage. Roshan does respawn. Meanwhile, K1 committing the spin. Bloody Nine trying to get some wards down. Is spotted by the dust of Lelis, but does get the flesh golem off. And the rock throw is going to... Oh, that's a nice rock throw.
And they
it lands on 2. K1.
Oh, the load to save.
He's going to commit it on himself, basically. Bloody Nine.
Oh, he still gets the kill. But K1 needs to run. And I think K1's dead.
K1, he's the big
oh, no, the back line. Oh, that's huge. Moo is dead. Phoenix Egg is dead.
They've got the Beastmaster.
K1 is... Lelis is dead.
Lelis trying to get out, trying to kiss, but it doesn't make any good. Key is gone. This K1 is also just going to be fine to TP out. This game, it's gotten so crazy here between these two teams. DogChamp, suddenly they have access to Roshan.
That is huge. And that comes down to a little play that Hector tries to make. He tries to go for that swift onto the
Swift slash
dying, but the
onto Undying, I get, I understand wholeheartedly.
And that drags him so far away from his
the
team
Omni slash was a
to
stupid
back
move.
line. Like Red 2 and Speed just crushes him, crushes the rest of Nouns while their jug is just so disconnected. No healing ward to save, no threat of a bigger Omni or Swift slash. All of a sudden, you've got the Aegis up and running here for DNM. Did he get a free Ags up? Yeah, they did. Free Ags for DNM as well.
Oh,
this is going to be really hard on high ground.
My bad.
No egg on the respawn. You do have Roar.
Again, still misclick. Whoops.
To be fair, no Metamorphosis. You only have the Terror Wave with that little 10-second form. But
oh, so they gave it to the Terror Blade.
Maybe not enough for the high ground as DogChamp aren't going all in. But they drag this game back their way. 11-14, 4K lead up for DogChamp. Look at that graph, Mike, if you open it up. Look at that crash just a little bit. Win probability still on Nouns, but the networking EXP that DogChamp got, it's massive.
And now they got full map control.
It definitely brings them back into the game. Like,
DogChamp is now
down, but
pretty much in the lead.
One good fight away from being able to even out the map anyway, as DogChamp. And K1, he just brought out a Swift Blink, so he's 3K gold away from buyback right now. Like, if DogChamp saw that itemization and realized the difference, you'd be committing a smoke right now, knowing that if you get that kill on the jug, the game's over. I don't believe they saw it in time, though. They are 53 minutes into the game right now, so they might be just kind of making the call to play very, very slowly. So Nouns, at the end of the day, they're still 2 axes up, so they're still having a pretty big advantage here in this game, number 1. The question is, though, do you want to leave it in the hands of Gaben for those tier 5 items?
I don't know if you really want to take it that far. It's always a little bit risky, right? Like, sometimes you just get unlucky with a spawns before a fight breaks out. You never get your drops. Sometimes you have a really bad dice roll. Sometimes all of you go Book of the Dead, which I guess makes you very happy, Mike.
It does.
Free library strat, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be more than one.
What's the other? So there are now 2 library strats: Book of the Dead and Book of Shadows. Mass Book of Shadows sounds absolutely atrocious.
No, that's the boring part of the library, John.
But like, can you imagine? You just have someone run up and then constantly save them with Book of Shadows. And it's like, what are you guys doing? You can't kill this fella, you know? It's like
the non-fiction part of the library, you know.
Oh, Mike, you never went to the non-fiction part of the library when you were in high school or elementary school, even.
I was busy reading Harry Potter in the fiction section, Jonathan. You know, the cool kids back then.
There were some fun books, Mike.
You were reading about some stupid history or something, knowing you.
I was reading about. I believe I don't know. I have a distinct memory of reading about bugs and then being pictured for some sort of circular that they were sending to other schools. Like, all right, just reading about bugs, guys. I don't know, dude. I'm here. I'm casting with you. There's a lot of things I don't understand how my life ended up this way, Mike.
Yeah, it happens. It happens, just unfortunately.
Okay, that really was.
Just let life take you.
That lightens the mood.
Suppose.
Or at least lightens me.
11-14.
The more you mention 60 minutes, Mike, the less likely we are to get there.
Nah, so 60 minutes definitely gonna happen.
That's what I hate about 60-minute mark with tier 5 items, because it's like it never gets to that point.
It's gonna be interesting to see what neutrals they all get, though.
Just gets together and just says, screw it, we gotta go. We can't risk it. Yeah. I still think they should make it 50 minutes for tier 5 items.
I honestly wouldn't disagree. I think, give it to us. Give it to us. We almost always reach 50 minutes. Just let us have that fun with these tier 5s.
Actually, I think that might be a correct
I want Primal Beast's model to scale better with Giant's Ring. For some reason, they limited his model growth, because I guess it would be too big.
It's understandable.
But, not for me, Mike. I want the giant Primal Beast as an Ags Labyrinth. And I want my Ags Labyrinth back, damn it.
Yeah.
It's a fun game mode.
That I do agree with.
I mean, maybe
I miss Ags Labyrinth. It was actually very enjoyable. All the mini games that you did.
Right. Soon.
Yeah.
The trademark.
TM.
Yeah. It was just.
You know what would be funny?
a blast.
If to commemorate like the 10-year anniversary, what if they got, you know, some notable figures in the community, some past TI winners to play a part as an announcer pack or something, and Fear has a line?
No.
You know, I would always have that. In fact, yeah, you know, I'm gonna look for that. Just a Fear voice line in the future. I'd want that.
Wait,
and every time we queue up, I'd use it.
You keep bringing up Fear like you're casting with Fear, Jonathan. Is there something you're not telling me? You want to cast
some
with Fear?
discussions behind the scenes, Mike.
Okay.
There's been talks, nothing concrete.
Well,
I don't know what those talks are, but we've been talking.
Okay,
yeah,
they're creeping, they're
me
crawling.
and Fear would be
They're
very
going
good
all the way.
commentators.
And they get a good catch.
You know?
9k net with lead for
Very much
DogChamp.
the tone of a golf match, Mike.
I mean, I hear
They're just growing a net with, hey, we get Gunner, Dagon game, man. Coddle, Dagon.
Paint drying.
Yeah, you have to start at the bottom, you know, you have to start somewhere. So you and I, we did
started from the bottom, now we're here.
It's watching the grass grow, looking at the course being constructed, and giving play-by-play on course construction. That's something.
Oh, Speed. Here we go. There might be some action, Jonathan. Speed's rotated down at the bottom lane, though he is going to be somewhat surrounded.
Spots K1.
He has his smoke broken. He could go after K1, break
the
link,
summon!
but he is called away
Coddle
by
call.
Gunner, who's had enough of seeing his jug getting caught out. The Gunner says, no, you're coming with me, son.
That's actually kind of nutty.
Yeah. Just again, a lull in the storm. Just waiting for everything to blow up. Aegis has expired. 8k lead for DogChamp.
I mean, it's also very important that they're up
2
against
minutes away from those tier 5s, those cursed tier 5s.
Terrorblade. They kind of want to try and bait out like the Terrorblade using his spells. Well, he doesn't use his meta.
Terrorize, it is our DNM already finding one.
Terrorize, quick kill, gem dropped.
The beautiful thing about the Terror Wave is you don't need to commit
Omni
that
Slash.
Now K1 committing the Omni
It's
Slash
onto red too. Bloody Knight didn't have the Tombstone available.
They've got 2 on the side of Nouns, so they are getting a decent fight for themselves.
Oh, that's big.
29.
That's a triple.
Will be the 3rd.
And Undying doesn't have a buyback.
So well
for 15 seconds.
DogChamp, but suddenly 3 heroes down, 1 without buyback, by the way. Bloody Nine's gone for about 2 minutes. Meanwhile, Speed looking at Gunner down a bot lane by himself. He might need a bit of help, and here comes the TB with the BOTs out and the Metamorphosis. They are going to go after Gunner, and they've got him.
But that's meta on cooldown. I actually don't know if that's good or not.
That is really sick from Speed. After the pulverize, he blinks backwards, gets the rock throw on top as well. So the chain stuns mean there's no counterplay for Gunner. I mean, you lose your quad +2 supports, but bigger kills coming out for DogChamp. Still, they have to hold high ground. They have to hold tier 4s
Speed
without their teammates.
Away. K1 Swift Blink is up in 1 second. He is going to commit another tier 2 tower. No, funny. We're 40 seconds away, but they're rushing for the Raxes now. Imagine that.
Yep. I mean, at this point, Nouns will probably find some.
Tormentor. Oh, everyone had a shard.
So
everyone gets 280 bucks.
If they hold high ground, I guess they can fight their own as well. Let's see. It's a bit of a tall order.
K1 almost to level 30. That's another big power spy.
They have to pop Metamorphosis again to kind of find that. And that's the reason why DogChamp backed off. They were relying only on the Terror Wave. Didn't quite have the meta. Oh,
Speed
bashed.
BKB up. No, he's been bashed. He couldn't get the onslaught. Cookie's
K1?
not really going to do much. Here comes the cavalry trying to help out Speed, though he is still
Kisses?
dying. The kisses, Speed, lift up. He is saved by Moose.
That save was
just
big.
barely. Oh, it's like 150 HP. He'll be okay. There's your refresher orb now out on DNM. 60 minutes in, Jonathan. We officially we have tier 5 items. Let's go.
Get us those tier 5s. DNM, why didn't you clear the Ancients?
Amateur hour.
Oh, it's Roche. They want Roche. Okay, no tier 5s, but they'll take Roche on. All right.
You know what,
That's
John?
a trade-off.
Next
Here's my
Roche.
change.
Yes.
Tier 5 items drop from Roshan. Guaranteed. At least 2 of them.
Yeah, I take
That's a good change. That's a good change.
Yeah. I want that.
And, I mean, if that happens, then that just means there's more chaos in the Roche bit.
Roche, and they don't even find Roche. And there's the Seer Stone out from Lullis, so they have vision hacks on.
What was it? They didn't get tier 5 items? They've got literally nothing on the side of Nouns, I'm pretty sure. They've got no tier 5s. Whereas like you look at the K1's got an Apex up.
You went for
You do
Apex?
have the Sea Stone available on the Snapfire.
Really?
There's a tier 5 token on Gunner. He just hasn't decided.
Mirror
but there's the Mirror
Shield.
Shield now out.
That's
Mirror Shield
really
can be
good
very,
against
very
the
effective,
Primal,
I'm sure, against speed.
who has
Ex Machina
nothing
now available
to
for
pop it.
pop, so you do get something for DogChamp, but it looks like the fight might break out early. So they managed to only get one. K1 jumps in. There's a swift slash out red, but no, the Terror Wave to ensure that they do protect the co-op.
Red?
They will get the Will-O-Wisp. The Queen of Pain again hexed up, but is okay with the 4-star.
I was very much curious why Red just jumped in there.
DogChamp still posturing aggressively, but the ward on the high ground for the Radiant is so strong right now for DogChamp. But they aren't moving into that area. They're just backing their way out, knowing the vision is there.
This Roche is going to be very influential.
Around the Twin Gates. In comes Nouns. They found Yamson. They've got the
Oh, but they're in the Ignis.
But he's going to be okay.
The Omni Slash. It's a full Omni Slash.
However, speed.
2 kills for K1.
Bloody 9 also down to boot. K1 ripping him to shreds.
Did we find
DNM? In the
DNM?
meantime, he'll get caught in the corner in the tree line. DNM is gone.
That is a huge fight with a double buyback
That was
forced out.
basically a full wipe. They lost 4 heroes on DogChamp. They've got the
Ouch.
buybacks available.
It's going to get the free axe.
Lost Roshan now.
Moose.
Oh. I didn't even realize Moose. Trying to be cheeky, but Moose now. Well, he didn't buy back, so he will have buyback available.
You're gonna be able to show up for that.
Who got
what
the
looks
free
to be the last
axe?
stand down for DogChamp. Really awkward way of breaking out that fight there. Speed just jumping in.
Oh, Snapfire picked it. Okay, so you got the Snapfire gobble gobble.
DNM's cut off from that fight as well on the ramp.
They've still only got 1 tier 5 item on DogChamp, by the way.
Yeah, it's just down to that.
I mean, this is a moment to win the game, right?
Whereas for now, it's just so much easier to have these.
They have no buybacks available
and
on
they
3 heroes.
They can fight into this high ground. They still have the refresh meta ready here for DNM.
At
They
least
have
get
some play,
megas.
but it's not looking easy at all.
K1 gets lifted right back into the co-op, though he does go for the swift slash
Oh,
immediately.
K1
but
in
Red 2
trouble.
does blink away as now Speed blinks back in with the pulverize, trying to lock down the jug, but there's no damage.
K1's dead.
Back now in it comes with the metamorphosis. K1 is gone.
Oh
They
no,
will
not
protect
again,
the bottom racks for
K1.
now. Onto the Phoenix they
Wait,
go.
is this-
Yamson
Yamson
is
had
gonna
Aegis?
go down. Well, why does Yamson has Aegis? Why does Yamson have it? I guess there's just no slots left for anyone.
Bruh.
I mean, K1, I guess you could have gotten rid of the Battle Fury to be fair, but yeah, he didn't want it.
Yeah, no, that's so strange.
Do they have a nullifier?
It's a little bit awkward. I mean, I get why when
anyone
you have
actually have a
slots, but
nullifier
yeah,
in this
like
game?
The Battle Fury, not necessarily that relevant. I was surprised that K1 died. I was like, why is he dead? Who had Aegis? And it's like, it's Yamson. Maybe Yamson's reflexes as a former core is still there.
Yeah, he
Perhaps.
just took it straight away. He's like, I'm the carry, boys.
Yeah.
Don't worry about this, Juds.
And then he's like, oh, all right, I'm a Phoenix.
Okay, and now you give the
Unfortunate.
chance
No, I'm
for
pretty sure it was
DogChamp
pre-planned
to
and, against all odds,
get their
DogChamp managed to hold
buybacks
on
back,
and they can
and
start to
more
find some of their tier
importantly, get
5s
all
now.
their tier 5
I mean, I think
exactly.
All of them desperately farming.
They found the whole Radiant jungle. They haven't found one yet. The Speed finally gets something. He's got a mirror shield for himself as bloody 9 says Dog, apparently. DogChamp. Very good.
DogChamp.
I'm not sure what's going on with Red 2, but hopefully he'll be back rather soon. Oh, it's the dog barking that's the problem. I have that problem too, Jonathan. I've got these neighbors and they just keep the dog outside all day and it just barks right next to my window. I don't understand
So
why
I've
people
heard.
That
buy
laugh.
dogs to keep them in the backyard. You know what? I had this talk with my
Evil
brother-in-law.
laugh.
Yeah, he said he's going to go buy a dog. And I asked him, why are you going to buy a dog? And he's like, oh, I'm going to keep it outside as a guard dog. And I told him, I go, dude, you are the guard. Like, who buys a dog as a guard? I don't understand. You know? I don't get it. If someone breaks into your house, the dog's still going to bark if they're inside the house, you know? I just don't understand. I don't understand.
I don't know.
Think they're supposed
you
to
gotta
rip
be
someone
careful,
apart
dogs.
if they get close?
You got to treat them like dog champs, you
They're
know?
not security. Anyway. Whatever.
I can sense that this discussion has happened Very recently, Michael Phoenix.
I just don't understand. Like, you know, as a man, surely you think to yourself, if somebody breaks into my house, I'm going to defend it. Not a
Yeah, but how the fuck do you know if there's someone there if your dog doesn't give it, like, warn you?
Here we go. All right. Fair enough, Mikey. Point taken into consideration.
This
you know,
is
the
what
actual
when we get 65 minutes.
I'm very confused at that take.
This is. I don't know where I've heard this. I think it was in a film. But apparently crickets are a good way of sensing if someone's nearby if you keep them in a little cage. I don't know what the hell was I watching where a cricket was an alarm system. Because they stop chirping when there's someone nearby.
Yeah, that's a
so the silence tells you someone's there. I watched the movie, I swear.
Great thing to talk about when we're casting. Talk about crickets while we're casting. Yeah. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Giving material.
Yeah. You know, it's feeding right into this top tier cast, Mike.
Look at the Giants ring, John. Yamson's got a Giants ring. Does that make you happy, Jonathan?
Yeah, it makes me happy. It looks like Dragonite, actually, if you're just looking at a glance value, although I guess DK's even bigger with the Giants ring. You know what I wish Giants ring did? Increase the supernova egg size. For no reason.
That would be kind of cool.
Just let the egg be big as well, because I think that's funny. A gigantic super phoenix, supernova egg.
Okay.
Coming out there.
BKB on cooldown. Not that it. No, that's it. It's 8 second BKB.
Whoops, what, Mike?
Red 2 popped his BKB.
It's fine. He has Ex Machina. What are you talking about? Doesn't matter.
I mean, he did use it straight away. I guess he literally just did it on purpose. I mean, but he is using the duration of the BKB. John, to be fair, he just lost a second.
That is pretty big, but what does it matter, you know? It's all about just outplays now.
Remember that? Remember when people used to just sell and buy BKB again?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, wasn't that a medal?
Oh yeah,
that was amazing.
Those were some days. Wasn't that still in the time when supports had it much
worse as well? Oh yeah.
Okay, next Roshan will be a radiant Roshan.
And you literally had
6 minutes.
Brown boots.
Are they gonna go high ground?
A 4-staff or a Yules. Certainly the days, Mike.
Oh, it's fantastic days. Take me back. K1, you'll move in.
Will Nouns be able to get anything done?
Problem is,
what neutral items does everyone have? Reflection, Force Boots,
Ags clearing out this massive proof wave.
Arcanist Armor, that one's actually really good.
Hilarious to watch, not gonna lie.
Ex Machina also really good. Also Force Boots.
Is actually huge. That's what really net them that.
Ex Machina.
And to sustain, it's just ridiculous.
I don't really know why, but I don't like Apex. I mean, 70 Agi is nice, I guess, but
duration when you can just be
other shit feels more amazing.
No problems here.
Gobble up, that's not an illusion.
No, going in.
Though, he'll take the opportunity.
Range rack's gone.
Forces out the terror wave of DNM now. So that's something.
One more racks for Megas, and then this game is still going to continue because you're up against a TB.
Slowly abuse the swift blink of K1. 1 milli barracks left from Megas. Hex out into the Quap. No follow-up yet from now. It's all about the Mega Creeps.
I mean, he's got Octarine, so he's got like what? 60, like 45 second cooldown on that shit.
Got the pulverize out,
K1. Phoenix Egg.
K1, where's he gone? He was your stuff. He's gonna be able to make it just fine. He has made it out as now the egg.
There is no damage coming out at all.
Down Bloody 9, but he is okay on the Undying.
But meta was forced.
Everyone
so now they can just wait.
And so does that melee barracks.
All you do is wait.
God, this game. 69 minutes.
Why are they not moving?
It's 19 to 18.
What are these zombies doing?
We said,
what are they doing?
Clearing out. They're trying to kill creeps, Mike. You know, eat some brains, have some flesh.
93%. Really? It doesn't feel that way.
It's been so long since we've had a game this long. It's amazing.
Gobbleup has caught moves in the back. Red 2, he's okay. Instead, Bloody 9 again being caught. Locked down by the Will-O-Wisp.
Bloody 9 staying alive with the creeps.
Will actually make it out. He'll be able to survive with the Soul Rip. Red 2, he's moving again. But no, in fact, he does blink the other way. Nouns, in the meantime, still trying for the melee barracks. Speed gets the Lotus Orb in time. The Omni Slash completely wasted. Speed will survive.
Well, they still get
but
the
they
megas.
do get the barracks. The melee barracks is down.
Now they're on the run.
Out by Speed. He's caught Yamson of the Phoenix, but he needs some help for the damage output. It's not there. K1 looking to move back
Refresher use on the Phoenix. He has another egg.
Complete chaos by the bottom lane. Yamson's still
Sunray.
alive. He'll get the egg off. K1 still going, protecting the egg.
Bro, no one dies.
Nobody can focus it down. As Nouns will safely try to retreat after securing the mega creeps. But the game is not over.
The game is stupidly long.
This is a completely naked base now. Outside of a couple of useless buildings. If DogChamp managed to turn this around, well, I mean, that would be insane. I don't know if they can. It's not over, but the odds are stacked against you now for DogChamp. Man, I'm looking at the graph. That was a roller coaster right there. From the 14-minute mark to the %0 mark on my screen. I'm not sure if it's bugged out for anyone else. Yeah, no, the %0. That is quite the ride. That I don't even remember %0 anymore.
What?
It's been a very close game. It all goes back to that one.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
From Red 2, right? Like back at the Radiant Triangle that ended up costing them Speed in the quad.
Yeah.
And that's where they lost 2 Raxes, and that's where the game just got flipped on its head for DogChamp. Up until then, they were playing a really clean game. But now against Megas, I mean, they're not out of it yet, but it's just going to be that much harder to make a comeback happen. And you're starting to get a little bit tired,
MLP and Jonic Fire are making this game very interesting, though. I gotta give it to them.
Being tense the whole time, you know,
they're doing a terrific job at keeping this game interesting. Because it has been really quite interesting, but most of the time it's been just dodging everything and everyone.
This gives both sides opportunities if someone slips up in an extended match like this.
There's Roshan.
Let's see.
Oh, who's gonna get a free Ags? It's either Beast or Phoenix. Phoenix has to get it.
Looks like they might give it to the Ags, I mean.
I feel like Yamson's maybe a little bit better at this point.
Save with the Phoenix egg.
I don't think you really need
too much value.
This game. It is Yamson.
Yeah,
it's a lot higher.
It's better. They don't have the attack speed to get rid of the Phoenix egg with the hit count.
Save play as well. It gets a lot tougher once more for DogChamp.
He's got the supernova hit count.
They've done a great job of
talent.
Just not having.
And
this
he's
game
got the.
yet. They've managed to equalize.
Yeah,
in a
so
couple
they need to hit it
really
16 times.
Here. And this is only your first game in this.
And their attack speed is shit. Except for TB.
You know, there could be 3 games. I can see 3 games coming out here, as long as DogChamp can.
How much HP does he actually have on the Phoenix?
See what they can do. DogChamp, I mean, there's buybacks on literally everyone on the map as they found the Queen of Pain. Red 2 being locked down by the side of bias, but now the Terror Wave coming out.
Omni Slash coming out.
Taking too much damage.
But it gets dodged.
Saved by the Glimmer Cape. K1 in the meantime, in the middle of all this, Speed is trying to chase him down.
K1 has the H this time.
Now, with the hex out,
that Phoenix that stun.
The first life of the Juggernaut, but no. He'll spin away. Nouns are okay for
Second
now,
terror wave.
Continues with a huge terror wave out from DNM.
But that coddle Will-O-Wisp was pretty big.
But Gunner's gonna be okay with
dude, sunrays everywhere.
He'll be just fine to escape
what
the
is
scenario,
this?
as nobody's died yet. Somehow everyone's surviving. They'll go back on the undying though.
What is this game?
They'll get something for their trouble, but he's got buyback available. He'll commit it. And they go on red. Hex out. Gunner being targeted. Back on Speed. Speed in trouble now. K1 trying to finish off the job, but he's going to be fine to back out. The Primal Beast will survive another day, but K1, he'll keep moving it.
Red? Oh, that's a dead quap. That has to be a dead quap. No?
Oh, K1, he's on the Ancient. He's had enough. He'll go right after the Jugular, but no, K1's been caught.
And another Ignis.
That is the Ancient down. Can they get him a second
K1
time?
has another Swift Slash.
They're going to try the raw route. They're going to lock down Bloody Knight,
Dude.
not allowing the backup as the game. It's just so laggy right now. K1, does he die? He'll pop the Swift Slash. He'll try to survive through it, but the Pulverize, no, the Wind Waker, it does keep him alive.
He's still alive.
It does stand him up. K1 though,
Yamson still has a second egg, if I'm not mistaken.
At least for now, but DogChamp are desperately trying to chase them down. Meanwhile, the Ancient also under attack by the creeps. As DNM still dropping, still going forward, still trying to survive, does keep going. There goes the Swift slash DNM. He will finally go down, but he does have buyback. He can come back into the team fight and try one last time as the Ancient is still not
Phoenix
down.
dies.
Meanwhile, Yamsun, he does at least go down a red 2, so they've got something. They can force one buyback out of Nouns. And this fight, it does continue,
I'm
but the
really
Ancient
baffled
is
at
just
this
so
game.
low. K1, he can jump in and finish the game, and he's going to try and do so. But the cliff is out. They'll buy more time. Terror Wave again out from DNM. They're trying to move forward.
Red tried to push them back.
The metamorphosis, but can they do it? They're going to try again. Speed is out.
Red's
2 is
dead.
down. He'll buy
And
back
there's the
Queen of
Omni
Pain.
Flash
Out goes
to win the
49.
game.
That's a dieback. That's a triple kill for K1. He's onto the Ancient again. The game's over. The game is over.
God.
Oh, Nouns. It took them 75.5 minutes, but they'll get the job done. Game 1 will go Nouns' way, and DogChamp, I tell you, John, it was a close match, but that one, it's gotta hurt. It really all goes back to that one.
That was
bad
wild.
Radiant
How
Triangle
stupidly
fight.
long that game was.
Playing such a clean game for like 35-40 minutes, even having the advantage against Nouns, and then just one blink and suddenly your 2 racks is down. Crazy game.
Yeah, it cost them so much. Not expecting the Ags on Gunner, getting the chain control up there, and then that bled into that last Roche fight down bot, which was just really awkward as well for the side of DogChamp.
I'm really
And that's
freaking
really the
impressed.
difference with Nouns and DogChamp right now. Just some tiny overextensions coming out there for DogChamp, getting punished severely. I think their patience was really strong. They managed to stall out this earlier timing that DogChamp was maybe struggling a little bit against. You know, their lanes were off to a slower start. You weren't quite as farmed up as you'd want to be, especially on DNM. Felt like Hector was just finding a lot more on the jug, especially when that full battlefield did go up. I think Nouns, the one thing that I feel like was a little bit lacking this game for Nouns definitely was that early game. Like, they did win out lanes, but once that Spirit Vessel timing was up on Gunner,
It's the quality on
they didn't manage to capitalize on
Twitch
it.
better, or
That's
on,
more on DogChamp and dodging it out.
or is the
I
quality
think
on
Nouns should
YouTube
look to
actually
punish it a
better?
little bit more. It still works out for them, but this game
Yeah.
could have been out of their
YouTube?
hands if Red 2 didn't make that aggressive play. Like, it could have easily gone the way of DogChamp if that reckless dive didn't happen, but you know, they get that opportunity, they capitalize and retake control. Still, Nouns wouldn't be in this position if they just had a better early game. You know, if they went hunting around, if Gunner was just picking off supports, getting more charges on that Spirit Vessel, feeding off of these squishery supports more than anything else.
I don't know which
So that
quality
is a
I
correction
think
I'd
is
like
better.
to see, but still overall a really strong game coming out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a pretty hard kind of game as well if you're looking towards like an MVP to choose from Nouns, right? Because it was a very slow game for most of the match up until maybe the last 10 minutes where we saw them starting to get very, very active. Nouns, obviously, you're seeing so many highlights in this game as it just keeps going.
I mean,
Like,
if the
even
game
heavy
is that
creeps
long,
incoming
it's
just
pretty
didn't
big
matter.
highlight. But this
For
last
DogChamp,
fight
they
was
continue to
insane.
just fight for their lives in this game 1 against Nouns, and just so much stuff being thrown. You know, John, I just built a new PC and it just couldn't handle what it was seeing in this game.
What?
Just ridiculous. What do you want? It couldn't do it, Jonathan. It was lagging.
Really?
I was dropping
I
frames.
was... Wait, what? I'm
Oh.
very surprised. It was all right on my end. I'm
Oh.
very surprised.
Well, there you go. Well, these are your recommendations,
It
John, so I
happens.
blame you. I blame you. That's
Well, you know, like, no need to get antsy here, Mike. You got a free GPU. no need to be upset over something nice, you know.
That's
And
true.
this was a pretty nice game. I mean, we went 45 minutes without either team getting 10 kills, which was outstanding in and of itself. We end the series, or we
Outstanding.
end the match with, what is it, 25-19 in scoreboard. Again, it looks slow, but just a lot going on, a lot of
It was
patience,
very
a lot of
chaotic.
really good game understanding here.
It was very
for
fun,
both sides,
but it was
and-
very chaotic
Man, I
nonsense
feel like
going
this
on
really should have just
across
been
the map.
finals at this point. You know, I mean, I say that, but you still have bait, you still have wild card.
Oh.
But this is already a match that's worthy of just going into a best of 5 grand.
Is
final,
Bait versus
right?
Wildcard after
You
this?
know, DogChamp are so hungry. You know, Nouns are so hungry as well to just have this easier journey to TI, and they're giving their all. I mean, look, this last highlight. It's just basically the last minute and a half, 2 minutes of this.
Oh, yeah,
game.
Bait versus
It's
Wildcards
just
after
so
this.
damn long. It just never ended.
It's too much. Well, there you go. Nouns to pull off the game one victory. John, look, I was saying it's incredibly hard to choose an MVP, and I do mean it. It is really hard to choose an MVP. I personally think it's K1, right? Like, the guys, I know that there was a few mistakes that were made, a few deaths that were a bit unnecessary.
Is he actually
but at the end of the day, the guy that finished the game, in my opinion, was just K1. So it's like, just give it to the jug. You know, the carry deserves it this time.
No.
Yeah, for sure. I think it
was the reason that the game took so fucking long.
Spectacular job this game, just identifying his openings, using the space that his team gave him. I mean, it's
Yamsen was 100% MVP.
You're gonna do a lot of hero damage regardless. So he gets that done for the team. I will say, if it came down to ending the game, you know, Moo was doing a little cheeky thing with his granite golem. He was hitting the ancient while the fight was breaking out.
I saw.
I mean, K1 did a
was
lot,
trying really to just end the game. He was very done, but
like,
Hector does.
He got caught so many times in the early game.
And again, he does a great job with the space given to him.
Was really detrimental to what they were planning and trying to do.
His itemization was pretty on point this game. And maybe a bit surprising with the full Battle Fury in comparison to something like the Maelstrom Mjolnir, which might have led to some earlier tempo here for the side of Nouns, but overall, it pays out. And I think, again, Nouns play a really great game. They hold steady. I think DogChamp put up a really good fight. I know what to expect for game 2, man. I don't want another 17-minute game, but God, who knows?
Why not,
it could end up.
I mean, Yamsen did so much with that
I know, we'd have to start
Phoenix,
talking about your anime
eggs and the Sunray on top.
Start to really hate us afterwards after they hear what you like. When you make fun of my taste, you know, Neff had some strong words about your
Gunner also played really well.
We'll leave that for another time, but I am looking forward to game 2. I mean, this is a really competitive, and at the very least, the loser won't be out, but I don't know if you'd want to face either team in the lower bracket, either Wildcard or Bait. Both of them look to be on fire, so you want to win here.
All right. Well, with that, Jonathan, we'll head to a short break. We'll be right back with Game 2's draft between Nouns and, of course, DogChamp very, very soon. We'll see you then.
It was a fun game 1. I mean, the ending was fun. The actual mid-game shit was like... That's a very weird thing to know. I'd ate Kunka's boots. Oh, the fan is so nice. It's so hot. Actually, it's time to brush my teeth, so I'll be right back while game 1, while everything's getting sorted for game number 2. I'll BRB.
Okay.
It was an interesting game 1. Game 2 should be at least shorter. Bum 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 bum.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 draft going to be underway in just a moment between Nouns and DogChamp, and it is, of course, MLP Dota and John X5. Jonathan, what a game 1 we witnessed just earlier on. A fantastic game between these two teams, and something that it proves to me, and it should prove to everyone else watching. First of all, is DogChamp clearly deserved to be in the upper bracket final against Nouns, and quite frankly, with the way they're playing this game, I feel like they should be in the grand final, quite frankly, Jonathan, because they're putting up a real damn good fight against the favorite of the whole qualifier. And secondly, as I've been saying the rest of the year, I think NA deserved an extra slot. I think they deserved it. I honestly do. People
I
think
don't
I'm lying
really
when
know
I say
why
that
they would
because
deserve
we
an
casted
extra
NA the whole year.
spot.
I think it's complete garbage that they're only getting 1 qualifier slot.
I don't really get why they would need.
I think they deserve it. I think. I mean,
Bro,
outside of the top 2 being gate-kept by TSM and Shopify Rebellion, I think one of these teams.
That's
any of
just
these
a
teams
weird.
that are
That's
left
a
in the
weird
qualifiers
take.
all deserve a shot.
Yeah.
At TI, I'd actually say even just a major, like one of these teams, just getting some international LAN experience for, say, DogChamp. I think that would boost them by a massive amount.
And they
you
just
know?
gotta be not the freaking worst in the
MLP, I
well,
hear
not
them
the.
saying,
They gotta
what
make
about
top
Western
2.
Europe? What about our 10th slot? Oh, get over it. Get over it. If they were that good, they'd win anyway. Who cares? Goodness me. Look at this, Jonathan. DogChamp. They're putting me in a good mood today. They've picked up the Earth Spirit.
It's really interesting to see it. It
First
does
Spirit's
feel a lot
actually really
stronger
strong
even on
this
the
patch.
support. I'm sure you feel that way as well. Although you're
Insanely strong. This patch.
constantly telling me you're confused whether or not you should play it as a core now, which is still viable.
I don't know.
I've seen a bunch of successful
mid.
mid.
Where DogChamp puts this,
First
if you're just
Spirits.
going to run it on support. I mean, Moose is a Earth Spirit specialist. He is a godly Earth Spirit, as we've seen before. So I wouldn't mind that too much. Yep.
Singapore major, Jonathan.
Correct.
Moose was the storyline of that major. I remember.
He was.
We were there. Thunder Predator. I still remember. That was a great tournament.
That it was. I'm keen to see if you can pull that performance out here for DogChamp to force that game 3. Nouns, they get to pick up Beastmaster once more, and Moo is going to be happy once more with the dive bombing Hawks. Like, that spell is
Hawks
so
are so
ridiculous.
dumb.
It's insane.
And the fact that they pop Lincolns is even more ridiculous.
It's hilarious, and then you realize it's actually kind of really busted.
Well,
But
you know
it's
what
hilarious.
It is? Well, what gets me is the fact that it does damage. Like, if they made it so the Hawk circles you and it roots you at the same frame of time that it already does, but it doesn't do damage, I would be okay with that. But the fact that you can max this Call of the Wild and it does 150 damage each time that it does the dive bomb, like that actually sickens me.
Yeah, I think maybe
Maybe taking
give
a
the
less
Hawks a mana
seat.
pool so there's a finite amount of dives they can do.
Right.
That could also change it, because I mean, before Hawks never did damage, even although until you got your shard.
Yeah, if you
Even
got
then, it's
shard,
a
you-
one-time use. So
Yeah.
I think something to balance out that output would be good. Still, Nouns, they do
I
manage to
mean,
pick up the Venge here.
Hawks never did damage.
DogChamp.
No, they were scouting.
What'll they be picking up? We've seen Nouns ban out the NP, the Gyro, the LC, DogChamp taking care of the Invoker, Jug, Naga, along with the Doom and Dawnbreaker. So still a lot left in the pool. They're showing a little bit of respect to Hector for his Jug. He does have a lot of options like CK Sven is something that induces there as well. DogChamp just back into the Terrorblade for DNM, which is fair. I don't think he had that bad of a game. He did have a rough lane. So just running back the Terrorblade up against Beastmaster maybe is a little bit tougher. They do at least have the Silencer to kind of make that lane a little bit more manageable for DNM. So you can trade a little bit better here for DogChamp. You can spam out the Arcane Curse, prevent the spell spam from that Beastmaster. I do have some concerns though. Venge with Wave of Terror 30% total attack damage reduction is massive up against a hero like Terrorblade, who relies on the added bonus on
Wait, hey,
Metamorphosis.
Subwasser, bye, Wasser.
In a way, now it's already has some really good answers for the Terrorblade. Like, just maxed out the Wave of Terror is gonna cause some damage issues down the line here, especially without any self-dispels for that TB. And it just doubled down into more aggression. Clockwork comes in. So you have a lot
they
of
got
ways
the
of
two
jumping back
supports.
line. You have the silencer that you can
Clockwork
take care
Venge.
of.
Venge probably
You
5
maybe
for
don't
Nouns
take
because
care
he
of the
plays a
Whisper
lot of
too
5
well,
Venge.
but you can still prevent him from getting some good rolls off, I suppose, if you manage to body block him. So you have some, again, great solutions out from Nouns. A lot of vision coming out here, just with Venge and Clock. They can scout around quite nicely. So it's solid foundations. I think for DogChamp, going back to Terrorblade isn't necessarily bad. At the same time, they've already experienced this lane. Again, Silencer can maybe give you a little bit more, but fundamentally, it might still be rough here for DNM if he's not too careful.
Yeah, absolutely. We shall see. Well, we have a second, Jonathan, going back to the earlier issue we were having. So I was lagging in game and you weren't. Is that what you're telling me? Like I just bought a 7800.
Okay, with Void, you're gonna be very careful with the swap. First of all,
Oh, you don't need to
second of all, you're
no,
definitely gonna need to get
like,
a chrono
but
damage
yes.
dealing hero on your team.
But yes,
Wow.
I was like,
Because you're gonna need to
lag?
get like
And then I
some.
was
You
is it lagging?
sabotaged me. Yeah, you sabotaged me, didn't you? I know what you did.
what?
I mean, focus
No,
ban.
I
but
didn't. You,
Yes, you did.
You maniac.
You even said
No.
to me.
Now,
you're
for a
like, "Oh,
mid
I'm
would
so
always
jealous
be a
you've got
nice
the
one, but I
best
don't know
one."
how
I
good
am
it is in this
jealous.
batch
No,
with
you're
the
not.
changes
You
they made.
sabotaged me. You did. I
I
know.
am jealous. I want a 3900X. I want that 3DV cash. I want to be able to play Baldur's Gate.
All right,
in-
we're
in
not
Act
sponsored
three.
by them. We're not
And no lag.
sponsored by them. Take it easy.
Well, what's wrong with talking about Baldur's Gate? You know,
No.
it's topical. People are playing the game.
You're making it sound like this is the best processor ever. Well, let's calm down now, right?
It's a good processor.
No,
It's
not-
a good
apparently-
processor with you.
Apparently not for a big team fight.
Well,
I
you
just
know,
thought-
maybe sometimes a certain user error in installation can happen, Mike.
Oh,
And that's on you, not me.
stop it.
Uh-huh.
DogChamp.
Little bit of
Sounds
a
like you get
hissy
the-
fit
That
between the
damn
two.
hard. You just put the damn thing down. Come on now.
I wouldn't be surprised if somehow something was wrong in the assembly.
Oh yeah, I had to use the
Oh.
hammer a couple times, but come on, it fit.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, as long as it fits in, it's just perfectly fine.
I mean, they kind of need to save on
problem.
DogChamp against the
Yeah. An
Chrono. I
Exposed
would
copper
say
coil in the middle of
OD,
your PC, no problem.
but it does give away your
No
next,
problem.
your mid laner already. And all
Yes,
you would
it's,
go for is your
concerned
off laner
motherboard
at
now
that
as
stage.
well.
Yeah.
Sure,
There you
all right.
go.
So there
You
You
you go.
gotta go Ember?
Yeah, that's
Mikey.
it's enough tech talk. Ember
I
Spirit is the
mean,
big
he
thing.
dodges the magic missile pretty nicely,
and
but
they instantly have to
not a
respect
big
ban
fan against the
longer.
lockdown
now
they
it's
have.
just with Faces Void. Doesn't feel like you have great answers for DogChamp. I suppose Global Silence is always good, depending on how fast you can pop that off from Blood 9, but do you have some solutions? Overall, though, like, this is looking to be a pretty strong Faces Void game. Not too many challenges if the Chrono does manage to pop up. Like, that is the one thing. You don't have the Venge on your side. You don't have room for some, like, the Oracle to save. You can't really have a save for anyone caught in the Chrono at this point for DogChamp. So it's more about just preventing that Chrono from coming out. Rather keen on their bans here for Nouns. They take care of the Veno for good old speed. Unless they're expecting something like
I mean, if you're playing a
speed
Faces
offlane
Void,
Earth Spirit, which I highly doubt, but
I think.
you never know. I mean, he's got the flannel out, right?
I think. I mean, he does have the flannel.
Faces
It
Void
makes enough
despises
sense, though.
playing against
the Veno. Earth Spirit,
Veno.
pretty strong lane against the Void as well. Veno does very well. It's like Viper against Void. You know, you just don't enjoy it as
no,
a
you
Faces
just get
Void.
absolutely.
In fact, speaking of Viper, I don't think it's a very
Squacked.
good hero right now, but Speed could think about going for that hero if he
Really?
wants it
He can be universal.
at level
He can
25.
be universal, Mike. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, you can be universal. That's every hero's dream right now. Every hero wants to grow up to be universal. Look at Invoker. He grew up and he became universal. All the real heroes become universal,
That's true.
you know?
That is true.
I'd like to see it at least once in a pro game.
I had
Honestly.
this idea, by the way. So
No, what is this?
Silencer Silencer theoretically doesn't like magic, right? Because he doesn't want you
Husker
to use spells.
ban,
Like he's not anti-mage
playing
levels,
Ember,
but he doesn't want you to use spells.
I mean, Monk is
So
good against Ember mid, but
you don't need Silencer to be an in hero, right? Because he doesn't.
Nouns could go for OD themselves. Actually, OD would be a heads-up pickup here because it destroys all three of DogChamp's cores.
It gives you +1 of each.
And it's amazing Roche damage. Roche and Chrono damage.
It just sounds like a ranged Slark, Mike. That sounds like a ranged Slark.
Yes, but permanent and better.
That's disgusting. I hope no one ever listens to you, Mike. So thankfully that
Invoker became universal.
Down.
Lion can mana drain the allies without shards now, Jonathan. Level 15.
That wasn't your idea.
Yeah,
I said not your idea.
I said it during Rio.
No.
Anyway, final pickup. Nouns Esports. They need one more hero, Jonathan. In the mid lane. What's gonna play?
Then have the best of lockdown again for DogChamp.
They have no damage against DogChamp right now.
But
like they've got Chrono. That's it.
Quap Puck can still shine. Maybe you want to tie in more damage to Chrono. Lena can kind of do that. Lena matchup against Ember's not too bad.
OD.
You do have Leshrac as an option as well.
Oh, OD.
To deal with illusions if you are worried about that. Matchup against Ember against fine. I think anything with magic damage is pretty useful here, especially with the Timber Saw on hand. I would lean Lesh or Lena. Maybe a slight chance for Zeus, but probably not necessary to go that far in. Still have some reserve time here as well to make that choice. But overall, I'd say the draft is looking pretty solid from now. It's like DogChamp going for the speed Timbersaw is pretty solid. It's still a decent enough lane into Faces Void, although Faces Void with a value.
Necro?
Okay, yeah, all right. Nouns are not toying around. They just go for the Necro. Mid lane matchup against Ember is atrocious for Ember. Nouns are looking to just win out even faster. Like this is even higher tempo than last time.
I don't really know what they're gonna do against Necro until they get Nullifier, I guess.
Here. Necrophos Ags is stupid. It is so dumb to play against that. I have encountered many a cheese strat of Necrophos Pudge. I've had Necrophos Pudge Lifestealer, all for the sake of increasing Necrophos's HP regen, so that when he has his Ags with a Radiance, with a heart, with 2 hearts, no one can survive. That is...
Is it still the same Ags?
Here. Hopefully. I mean, Ags is still a decent pickup for Gunner, but that it is so weird what that does, being a percent of your HP regen. Considering how Necrophos has a positive feedback loop with his regen, like that is just a stupid amount of damage. I would love to see it. I don't think it's going to come out. I would love to see it, but just Necrophos in this game is a really good solution. Your Timbersaw, a good solution. To
I'm gonna check. Wait, what?
Ember lane is pretty good. I think Nouns Man should clean up this draft. I think DogChamp going back for the DNM Terrorblade. It is his strongest here. It's something we've seen him play across the years, but I'm not feeling too good about it here. Like, he has to get really good tempo. You would want to see this Terrorblade kind of just get free farm again.
Aghanim Scepter upgrade removed. No upgrades. By Aghanim Scepter, health decay is increased by 6% of Necrophos' current health regen.
I don't think you want to toy around.
Oh, that's actually.
This is something that I see.
I understand now what he means with that's kind of horrible.
It's going to be a very interesting game number 2, and I can only imagine how this one goes. The last game was very, very close. So I hope we have another very close game between these two teams. And
that's kind of busted.
Frankly, Jonathan, I'm a sucker for game 3s. So hopefully we can get ourselves into a game 3 here for this best of 3 series. But we'll find out because game 2 is now officially underway. So we can get right into it, see exactly how this one pans out. And the smoke on smoke already, but probably just for the wards. Highly doubt we see a level 1 team fight break out, but now that I've said it, I hope it does. And in fact, DogChamp, they are looping around the dire jungle. The long way around, I think, trying to get into the Radiant Triangle. Perhaps. Or they're just running towards the Twin Gates, one or the other.
Muse is getting an angle at the very least. Pretty decent angle here with the Earth Spirit. Nice forward ward.
Well, they won't go into the triangle.
Not looking to toy around.
They could find Lilith. Lilith. Gonna see Moose taking back the Watcher. We'll move back in onto the Earth Spirit. Does get the Battery Assault off. Nice little kick away from Moose to ensure they can't keep the damage up. However, he is kind of being surrounded. The Reflection will come in to kind of force them back on Nouns.
Okay, let's go for the game.
Trying to set up for something, it seems like.
I'm curious to see Necro mid. How is that going to work?
They can really fight this one out. They'll have to leave.
Why is Clockwork's hat so big? He has a huge hat.
Oh, he's a small clock, Jonathan. You know, Bloody Nine stunned up. They've got a blood grenade available on Yamson if they need it. But Lilith, well, he probably just doesn't. Bloody Nine gonna run. See how much time Bloody Nine can buy here. This is gonna be a very, very slow, sad kind of death, I think. Though I say that, Lilith is still not able to close the gap yet, but getting close. The ball will slow him down, and eventually, Moo will cut him.
And there's the Hawk.
Here
First
come
blood.
the Hawks, who apparently also gets hats.
Oh, they get a hat. Everyone gets a hat. Look at that.
I love
the
that.
boar with hats. It's beautiful.
What?
It's
Look
just
at
a
the Hawk.
flying hat. Oh, that's so dumb.
See its head. It's just it's literally flying on nothing.
I mean, that would literally root you. If you saw a hawk flying like that diving at you, I think you'd be done for. So we can take a look at that mid lane after that first blood coming out there. The lane for Gunner should be pretty stable. He has level 2, so he can reach in true. Not going to be a simple process for Red 2. He can try to shove out with Flame Guard. Once you have level 2 Death Pulse here, Gunner has pretty good control. He's going to be limited by his mana. Rune control is going to be a big part. And CS and denies are a very big aspect for Gunner here. As long as Red 2 can kind of deny himself, then take some denies himself and clean up the last hits, then he can still play this lane. But again, we've seen a lot of Necroforces just win out this lane outright. I don't expect too much different from Gunner.
I'm wondering what kind of build he's going to go for.
Well, speaking of Gunner, he's getting very low. Red 2.
He did get the triple creep kill, so that's a nice regen.
Follow up here, so Gunner going to be fine to start resetting a little bit with that Heartstop aura. No, bottom lane. K1.
Earth Spirit is, I think, the one key factor that could be very hard to deal with for Nouns.
Okay to walk out of there.
Earth Spirit's hard to deal with.
It's kind of the thing about laning with the
and nullifiers are going to be important this game for the DogChamp side to deal with Gunner.
Lane once you hit level 2 or 3. Like, you really just don't need to stick around in this lane for speed to be okay. Just let him get those level 2 reactive armor up, and generally you can just leave him alone. And chances are you aren't going to find any kills with a Timbersaw anyway. Like, there's not really much kill potential in this lane for the Earth Spirit to stick around for. So I imagine Moose will hit level 2 or 3 and just rotate up top. Or maybe even rotate mid and try to focus down Gunner before he has the Ghost Shroud.
Yeah, I think that's the play. Just try to bully out this Necroforce and get a little bit more space going in the lane for Red 2. Well, let's see when Moose does decide to make that call. Still hanging around here, soaking up some EXP. They are getting, trading a little bit up top. Some regen being forced out onto Lellis.
Well, they're going to go for
top lane.
At least harass TNM, but Lellis might be dead.
Be okay, TNM. We're still chasing, actually. Lellis, though, still alive. Going to be all right to walk his way out of this.
That has a lot of damage.
Close call, but not quite close enough here for DogChamp to finish off the job.
So far, Nouns, both the series they won, anyway, it went to 3 series.
Not really too big of a deal for the
3 games. So it wouldn't be the wildest if this one also goes to 3 games.
Survived after taking or attempting to take that Lotus.
They just don't have enough to really lock him in, and maybe just showing a lot of respect for Hector coming out. He does have the time dilation, which is fairly annoying for the Timbersaw to play into. I think overall, it's kind of the same story from game 1, except maybe a slightly better plan. Although
mid lane, Gunner, it's very hard to see him getting out of this one. Kick back into the tier 1 tower, not really perfect. So Gunner is still walking.
Oh no!
Try for a TP play up, but is
out
go down
and fails.
And
now he has to walk the lane.
Himself with the arcane curse, and tips out from Red 2 immediately.
Yeah, you gotta let him know. Gunner just overstepping his bounds a little bit. He is tanky as the Necro, but you have to respect the rotation potential here from DogChamp. I mean, he should understand.
I mean, Earth Spirit's wild.
having the
quick rotations are always amazing.
With the Termisol, means that he can just leave that lane, as you mentioned, just get these rotations out. And suddenly you're going to have a bit of a faster 6 coming out for Red 2. Lala's just soaking up, being aggressive onto Red 2 while he can. But the Ember doesn't mind this too much. He could try to run down, although it is a level 1 Sleight of Fist. He is forced to max out Flame Guard here.
Pretty standard against the Necrophos, makes enough sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, but it's still very shit. I mean, it's actually not that bad because it does increase your farming potential a lot. Yeah, as they're about to say.
A real nuisance to have to try and lane against. Moose, he'll go up through the twin gates into the top lane, so it looks like he wants to try and see if he can find.
And he's got a urn on Earth Spirit, so he's definitely just looking to fill up those charges.
Lilith is around to break the rotation, but the roll is going to connect anyway. He was not around to get the vision, so Mu trying
Mu's
for the
dead.
TP away,
Lilith is
but he's
dead.
not going to make it.
I think.
Like now they could try onto Lilith.
No.
But Lilith, he's going to be alright to walk out. They just don't have the spells to throw to lock him down. And they've already got the better target anyway.
That they do. And that's going to be a walk back as well for Mu.
I think this game is going to have a lot riding on K1.
TPing, so that's a lot of space to win out in the lanes for DogChamp. And you get the solo
Gonna get lucky?
Timbersaw where he's not under threat. You can keep
Of
playing
course not.
aggressive with your
It's
supports.
hard.
In comparison, you can't
Rune
really
as
leave
well.
this Beastmaster alone on Mu. It doesn't really completely shut down terribly as long as Metamorphosis is still ready to go. So the aggression is lining up for DogChamp, and they're just going for another smoke. This is what we need to see from these supports, just constant aggression.
Why the hell not?
Gunner. He wants to kill Red, but this is all a bait. Nice dodge, but silence dead.
I don't think he can avoid the death. TP's incoming.
Another kill for Bloody 9.
To make it in time, but just can't get there.
And he has a point in Glaive Wisdom,
like,
so
while Ghost Shroud is down, it's very hard to survive these rotations. Hell, even with Ghost Shroud, it's going to be challenging. But without it, it's borderline impossible.
Urspra's going to have a Spirit Vessel in a very quick
I think
timing.
It's fine. The skill build from Gunner is fine. Still overall, like, as a Necrophos, you generally don't want to have to pick up that value point in Ghost Shroud. You do want to play a little bit greedier. You want to be able to try to just play with Death Pulse and sustain that way. The issue is, none of his supports can really rotate mid to help him, right? Like, the commitment's all there from DogChamp. We saw one movement out from Lilith, and that was really it. Like, all the attention, all the investment is from DogChamp. They are trying top here.
They are. Bloody 9 and DNM both in trouble. DNM will get the Sunder, though, and now Lilith's actually taking too much damage, but still continues on to Bloody 9, who does finally go down.
That's a triple kill that they pick up.
Yamsun there with the Wave of Terror just at the tail end of that to ensure they had the follow-up damage. They will not secure DNM's life, though. DNM at the very least does survive.
Well, one speed, it's level 6. Bottom is over. I mean, right now it's also looking very rough to get anything done in that bottom lane for K1.
Thinking about rotating into the jungle.
Yeah.
It's starting to
Earthspirit rolls on him. If he's got silence,
yeah, reminiscent of game 1.
Yeah, he's got silence. Then they can actually kill him.
Up, but K1, he still gets time walk in time.
Nice, dead.
Problem is the Arcane Curse and Last Word are there.
More in stolen
to go the way of Bloody 9, and more importantly, a very important kill to go the way of Bloody 9.
Oh, Lilith.
He's gonna drop Red 2 A.
Nouns is getting smacked all over the map.
But that was his first kill of the game on the Ember. What tips Gunner for what?
I'm not sure. But he's tipping Gunner. Let him know he's enjoying this mid. I think every time you leave the Ember, he's just gonna be able to find openings like that.
I love the way Moose is playing this Earth Spirit, Jonathan. He's just so active. Moo will go down again on the Beastmaster. Just the impact from Moose on the Earth Spirit. Just really doing so much work. It's now K1.
K1's forced out of top.
He doesn't have Chrono anyway. Just wants to be around this area to farm up a bit more safely. But with this many heroes around, I don't think it's going to be feeling quite safe.
No,
Gunner.
A lot of Gen.
Oh, here we go, John. They really want this Necrophos another time. Gunner's been forced to go the level 1 Ghost Shroud now, by the way. And earlier on when I was talking about it, don't get me wrong, I was not saying that that Gunner made a mistake by not leveling it. I just thought DogChamp in particular were just playing around the timings of the Necrophos really well.
Yeah, and again, they're just playing around their own early spikes. I mean, they've got Earth Spirit. They need to be aggressive. Gunner is still clearing out some good camps here, though. And there is Ancients, but that's a little bit of a slower process. They do manage to keep their wards up, take care of the opposing obs ward.
Oh,
as well.
Lelis wants to counter ward, can't because the Earth Spirit will roll on him, and then he'll die because the Earth Spirit has
again,
range charges.
2-6 start. DogChamp on a very good foothold this time in comparison to game 1. You are getting the farm you'd want. Gunner is still managing well, but off the course of DogChamp on top. Hector again off to a slower start than you'd want to see on the Faces Void. Does have a Chrono ready to threaten, and they are clumping up their own heroes up top. But no opportunity being given.
We're actually going for a vessel.
No, they're gonna go. They want
why?
K1. Global Silence will be there, but Moose does
I don't
not
actually know why he's going for a vessel on the Beastmaster.
Well, it seems like Bloody 9 does get caught. They even want Moose on the Earth Spirits. They'll lock him down with the roar out. Moose still trying to get away,
that's a
but the
nice
Reaper
double
side
kill.
We'll lock him down
Get
indefinitely.
the
So 2 to
HP and
go.
mana back on Gunner.
DogChamp dropping 2 bodies as Nouns committing all 5 heroes for this. So it's a big
They do have
committal,
threats, but
it does pay off.
Timbersaw is just chilling bottom.
Space, right? You clear out this top, you start to give Hector more room to play his own triangle and maybe the top jungle area a little bit better. You start to pressure DNM to stay away from the lane, force him to jungle rather early as well. There has been room mid for Reggie to push, and the solo push did come out there from speed down bot. So you're not losing out on too much here for DogChamp, considering all of that commitment. You are still working the map as well, and you're set to have some good spikes here for speed. I mean, this is going to be
and
a really
Red
fast
too as well.
for
He's
him.
almost done with the
He chased
Maelstrom.
down a bit.
So he'll have good farming speed.
Spirit Vessel up, they might have a chance at actually killing speed off here. They'll chain away. Moo does not have roar available,
Speed
but it seems
die.
like they've got plenty of damage. As Speed is still trying.
I should tick
Surely
down.
goes down. One more hit will do it. The Vessel is still ticking him out, but he survives on
He
39
actually gets out.
HP. He will make it. Even the rocket flare doesn't land.
Nothing working out in the
Falls a
favor
bit
of
short.
Nouns.
And that Spirit Vessel not going to be a major concern for Speed once he does finish up this full Lotus Orb. So, really good read out from Speed. 4-6, 2k lead still standing for DogChamp. I think for Nouns, you're kind of held up to the tempo of Reaper's Sight, and that is the one shortcoming of the Necrophos. It's a 110-second cooldown every single time, so Gunner's activity is limited by that. They are starting to clear out the Ancients. It's a lot of output right now onto Lelis and Gunner, but eventually they'll be able to find us and get that gold injection they do so desperately need. Gunner's also working towards that Lotus Orb, and it should have a lot of impact once that's up and much more protected up front from the control here. The DogChamp, they've kind of taken a step back. We're not seeing as many.
Well, there's
movements
more
out
kills
from
at least than
Moose
last
or Bloody
game.
9. Are still scouting ahead in the top.
I mean,
jungle,
Manta's
but
gonna
they're
be
not
a
really
must need. You're up
connecting their
against 2
force right now.
silences. I wonder.
Red
Yeah,
2,
Gunner's going
Speed,
low.
and
Just
DNM are all
they
just
need
farming up, which it does
dispels a
play
lot of them.
into the favor of Nouns. Like, they're the ones in need of catch-up. They've got some room to breed. As long as DogChamp aren't pressing the issue, then you're more than happy to play catch-up here. You've got Faces Void. He is going to be the be-all, end-all in these endgame team fights with Chrono.
Red. Won't go for the creep wave mid lane. Doesn't show himself. Does eventually onto Gunner. She does a lot of damage with those Maelstrom procs. We'll just leave the area eventually. Seems like top lane they might think about, but no, never mind. They're back into the mid. They're pinging out Gunner. So they really want
wanna
this
kill
Necrophos.
Gunner,
Like, that is the
but-
priority of DogChamp this game.
Is that a good
It's
one?
just we're
A
focusing
quick
Gunner
one?
the whole
Are they gonna
game.
go? I
This
mean,
Necrophos
with
is
Reaper
not gonna have the game it wants.
Scythe, you can kill off a Timber,
That's the
but he
idea.
knows what's coming, and they're actually gonna get the backstab.
Here they come. Lelis is going to be there to break the gank though. Roll, it will not connect, but the Boulder Smash will. Eventually Lelis should just go down, but he should be pretty happy with the fact that the rest of the team do at least get out without taking any kind of punishment.
And Moo TP's away.
Much
He's still
better
actually
Lelis
going for
than
the Helm
Gunner
of the
here.
Dominator
Gunner
afterwards.
just goes back to the farm game.
I
They've
guess
bought so much space out.
Helm of the
for
Overlord is good
Hector
for
to still
cutting
keep
creep
up.
waves
He's got his Midas on the Faces Void. You've got some room for Moo as well to kind
and
of
creating
go into that
space. And
Dominator
this might be a
into the
game where they
Overlord.
need to create space.
But I don't think you're finding the targets you'd want from both sides. And again, this slower pace, while it does hurt Gunner and the amount of Reaper Sight charges he will get for passive regen, it's not something to be concerned about. DogChamp,
K1.
I think they're the ones under some slight
Oh,
pressure.
global silence
Balance out. They
instantly.
really want K1.
Does he
They've
get
got
leap?
chains
Nope,
available
root,
as
done.
well, and that's going to be enough. Really nice coordination coming
And
from
they even
DogChamp.
find Moo.
29. May go down. Won't mind too much.
Double kill for red too.
I didn't realize the Beastmaster was still there.
Yeah. Couldn't juke out. Couldn't get that TP off earlier. The punishment is clean from the side of DogChamp, getting 2 cores for their support. They're cutting off the big one. If Hector can't play catch up with his Midas, then it's going to take a long time for that end game of the Faces Void to really kick in. And DNM is set to have some really
And
good
they haven't
tempos.
thrown out a single chrono this game yet.
That's the Dragonlance Yasha up, going straight for the Scotty next. Scotty going to be a really good solution here.
But
the
they also don't really have any chrono
if
damage,
picks
so...
up the Nullifier here. It does feel almost always necessary when you're playing against Necrophos. Just take off.
Yeah, Nullifier is definitely going to be a must-have.
Wouldn't really mind it coming out here. I think it just
Would be a Timbersaw item though. It could be an Ember, because he actually also uses the attack damage obviously, but I would assume it's a TB item.
Doesn't feel like a
you know, like his 4th item or so.
Sitting back and farming, which it's not what you want to see when you're playing Necrophos for sure. It really is a tempo hero. So the fact that he's having to eat some space up himself is not the ideal for now. It's not what they were looking for sure in this draft. The mid lane matchup as well. Red 2 worked it pretty nicely with the rotations in. So they kind of negate that hero advantage you'd have in lane. And with a 5k lead DogChamp, they can start to overtake. Like, when DNM feels comfy to join these fights, these towers won't last too long. And again, it's hard to
shot,
see
push
a
back.
major chrono coming out here anytime soon.
Load Orb,
Speed.
Spell Reflect,
The Lotus does get roared up as well, though he's still
and
alive,
there's
but
the
not
Reaper
for long.
kill.
The Reaper's side will get the job
But in
done. Here comes
response,
the roll in from Moose.
what do they get?
Auto Smash landing on 1. They slow down the
Lelis,
Beastmaster. They'll get
dropping
Lelis
low.
first, but Lelis, he gets the cogs off in
He's
time,
gonna die.
so still alive, but eventually will go down. Gunner seems to want to continue the fight.
Global
but the Global
Silence,
Silence's gonna be
Gunner
committed,
in
and now
trouble.
Gunner's in trouble.
The dots
And
are
I
too
think
much.
He's just dead.
Twin
Double
stolen.
kill for Red. In
Bloody
comes
9.
K1.
Does he have the
Chrono
mana
is
for
available
chrono?
to commit.
He does have chrono.
It's not going to be too
But
easy
he's
to land
rooted.
this one. See, he's continuing to chase down the...
Does get the
he
kill.
commits for a silence
And he's
already.
gonna go for the TP.
K1.
This is
Can he get out?
actually...
He can. Moose, he committed the rolling boulder. Oh, he had it off cooldown?
Not...
Probably didn't when the TP was...
Yeah, I mean, at least he used chrono.
Not quite there.
No.
I mean, at least you find some punishment here.
Exactly,
And
at least they do
K1
something.
getting kill isn't the worst thing in the world, but certainly not the series of events you'd want. Oh,
It's Cogs. Walk out from Lelis, just trying to get something before he
Moose.
does go down.
God, Moose
Seems
is
like
playing
he
so
would not
well.
be able to get that though either. But he's still alive. Red is getting very aggressive with his chase. Oh, Red!
God.
Oh, that's a
Okay.
huge kill.
Yep, that's a very
That's
big
that's
kill
a
for
wicked
K1.
6 streak going the way of K1. And he just bashes him to death.
Just a couple lucky bashes is all you need. Hector gets the ones he needs. Really good bait out from Lelis. Great swap out from Yamson to give him some of that durability there as well. And DogChamp have to be careful about bleeding out. like that. They're
DogChamp?
still in the lead, they're still in control. But you are starting to give this Faces Void tools to catch up. Number 3 in network now is Hector. He's going to have the Manta. He's going to have a way to clear out the Global Silence. Clear out some of that control. Lelis.
Another nice cogs off, but Moo's going to be there to kind of just kicking him around and... Oh, Lelis.
Yeah, now you can't be interrupted while you're rolling, so you can actually roll
the
through
4-man
chrono
side.
and stuff.
Lines
you're
being
like
drawn out towards the
In an
bottom side
ethereal
of the
realm,
map.
you
They
can't
wanna
be
try and
interrupted
infiltrate that
or
Radiant
pushed
jungle.
back.
Heading towards K1 and Yamson. Gunner will TP away. It seems like it's a fairly obvious smoke, considering they were just taking out the mid creep wave. They are not going to find anything with this. They could head top through the twin gates, though. And they will. So they're going to go towards Moo and the Beastmaster instead. Moo's backed off at the right time, however.
K1
Looks like Moo
taking
might
a
have
very
just
long
make it
time
up.
to finish off a triple camp of Ancients.
Around for the small camp, but no, he's going to be just fine.
Okay, what does Moo have?
Can't quite reach. Moose still sees him.
Oh, he's
Helm of
being
the
very
Dominant
greedy
Spirit
now.
Vessel.
He's still just fine? Yeah, no, they can't see him.
Yeah. Nighttime vision. Just can't can't see that Beast Master maybe
Okay,
expecting
with
to slowly try to
Manta,
come
I
in
think
between.
K1 can start fighting.
And that's a lot of time committed out from
Can he
DogChamp.
start fighting though?
Not really too much coming out.
I mean, he
They
can
do have
do
an
like
opening for
what he
Roche,
did
shoving them
previously,
away from
walk
top.
into the fight, say
DNM
hi,
pops the
Chrono,
meta
and
to
back
get that
off.
done. And this is going to be a big objective. With Scotty up in DNM, again, you've got ways of just stopping the healing out from that Necroforce in particular. Are keeping an eye on Red too, but he is fairly slippery.
He'll buy a lot of space for his team.
Moon needs to find some farm, otherwise he's going to fall behind and be useless
happening.
this game.
And DogChamp, they literally just aren't allowing them to get to the twin gates. Like, they're just guarding the twin gate usage as Roshan is coming. Time to change homes, I suppose. Or maybe not. No, there we go. He's coming. Just back and forth, but daytime is here now. Can I just say, by the way, John, I lost a game yesterday because Roshan got bugged. Didn't go through the twin gates.
It happens.
Very upsetting.
Still occasionally happens. I'm wondering what the triggers for that are, but it's always funny, especially the...
I think if you stun Roche while he's running.
Every now and again that happens, always hilarious.
Something along those lines.
Not going to happen here. 8-13, 2K lead, Roshan under the belt of
Or while he
DogChamp.
TPs.
No contest coming out from inside of Nouns. They do spot it now with a flare. Just too far out to get anything done. And again, a rather even game. DNM off to a much better start here. But you can't count out the Faces Void and Chrono. The Manta flying out now for Hector again, having a way of dealing with
Fastest on this hero, faster than previous record.
Great control coming out with the
19
Chronosphere.
minutes.
Gunner, he
top
does
net
have
worth.
his Kaya up. Sanj next.
Faces Void's right behind him. And as they said, it's still
for the
Faces
side of
Void.
DogChamp now, there is some pressure to start to clear out these tier 2s with your Aegis. You don't really want to play the farm war up against Nouns, especially up against Hector. Like, we see what he does with a little bit of room. This guy just knows how to execute in these fights. And playing up against a Faces Void like this without any hard counter outside of Global
Only a
Silence,
2-3k net
it's
with
pretty
lead.
rough.
Or
So I want to see DogChamp push this advantage. They don't want to drag this game out to 45 to 50 to 55 minutes. They need that early lead. They need some room, and if possible, they need some early racks if they can find them.
Absolutely. Bottom lane.
Shard 4, yeah, that one's nice.
Maybe
The
looking
bouncing
to
magic
pressure this
missile.
Bottom T2 tower. Well, never mind, they'll leave the area for now. And you start to wonder how concerned they're getting about K1's farm. Like, he's just getting to that stage where he's going to have a BKB up next, and it's a decent way of dealing with the global silence to come. Well, it's really the main issue right now for K1 is just having those items to be able to purge off all these silences that can be provided by Bloody Nine. Once he has those answers, you're not too afraid of this game anymore. Mid lane, they are still hanging around. Lilith's is going to show himself in the clockwork. Bloody Nine will try to just force him away. Red 2 will make his way back over, but he's a bit too late to the party. However, I say that, that's a very nice chains. Actually landing right through the creep wave. It's even moving
Yamson
out,
spotted.
Yamson. Avenger's been caught out. Slow is there.
That's
Rolling
another
ball
kill.
to connect. Yamson to go down. So both supports losing their lives, and now
And
it's
that
T1
should
top
be the
tower
tier 1
under
tower
siege.
top plus more.
And that's what we need to see out from DogChamp. Just get some pickoffs, get these easier objectives, try to get some pressure onto the tier 2s.
Next
And
item,
punish
red
Nouns
with the
for
Ags.
Playing a slower game. Like, this is just
So
how Nouns
he's
has to
already
play the
hard to
draft. They
catch,
need to play
and
a
then
lot
he's going to
slower.
go wild.
And this is when DogChamp is strong. So just push that strength. Chipping away a little bit at the tier 2s, not overly committing. DNM just opted to farm instead. On the side of DogChamp, splitting up just a little bit more. And again, there's been some decent room out for Nouns. Hector's farming a lot more than you'd want him to. Just 400 gold behind the Terrorblade. So you really don't mind this position too much for Nouns.
Bottom lane. We'll get started on the K1. Chains is still available. He does have remnants he can use to keep chasing to boot. So K1 could actually be in a legitimate amount of danger.
And yep,
well,
K1 needs to sprint.
Out, and even the neutral creep stunning
But
up the TB
he's probably
midway.
still dead.
Moves.
Oh no! Use time dilation, you
Boulder
dipshit!
Smash not going to land. Manta off the chains and roll forward, but the global
Nice
silence has
sidestep.
been committed to make sure he can't keep time walking, but the silence now wears off. K1 is still getting out. They can't kill him. Yeah, even the Centaur was on his side, apparently. The DNM getting stunned for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like, what does Necro have?
Was it the Dominator?
Is he gonna Kaisanj plus Lotus? If he walks in the fight, he's still very dead.
Did manage to stalk DNM and get that control off. DogChamp, they're setting
does
their
Necro
sights on
scale
bigger
that
targets,
well this
but
match? I
this
actually
does mean,
don't
again,
know.
The age
I
is
mean,
ticking down. They
technically,
haven't been able to take
the Ag sounds
tier 1.
amazing, but he also
And
has
they're
like
stalling
2
the game
Reaper
and
kills,
now
so his
that's
passive
all this is,
HP
just a stall
regen's
game,
kinda
just
shit.
Try to bring some time into factor here. Red 2, not gonna be chain bashed at the very least. He's managed to bail out, but they need to find more now.
Yeah, rolling border a little bit late. He's still getting so much time to DNM, but he's already hit those huge spikes. He's got the starting timing up. Like, you might want to wait for a BKB, but it seems like they're just maybe confident that they have the better late game in DogChamp, perhaps, with the way they're playing this game out.
Yeah, I would expect them to have the better late game now as well.
It does feel like they aren't really applying the pressure with the spikes that they have at the moment. Maybe I said that a bit too early, because they have smoked up as 3. Down towards the bottom lane, Moo will be around on the Beastmaster and does reveal himself, so Speed can make the jump in, but he doesn't have the lockdown. Rolling ball.
I don't really know what Moo's supposed to do.
Helping set up, and a nice swap out from Yamsun, going to ensure the Moose does remain alive, at least for now, though the roll is still coming.
Moose continues.
Instead. Now Red 2 comes in. They'll finally get the
Ooh,
Beastmaster,
but a big kill.
But Red 2's going to go down for it. The Reaper side.
Still can't go too
very
deep.
Nice trade for Nouns. You still lose a 2-for-1, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse.
It could have been. And again, for Nouns, this is just a matter of stall. If you don't mind sacrificing your Beastmaster in exchange for Faceless Void's farm, in exchange for a Reaper's Sight charge on Gunner. Gunner is going for
when he has BKB, he has 2 ways to break
this is where it starts to get a little bit concerning. He has 10 bonus HP regen, 5 mana regen coming out. He's going to have a lot of the heart.
Global,
this is a viable Axe Spirit for him. It's just more magic damage for a Terrorblade. I wouldn't actually mind that. After the heart, Gunner goes for an Ags. It doesn't feel like, again, you have many good solutions here from the side of DogChamp. Outside of just chain control, chain silences, chain stuns onto one hero. But in a vacuum, ganking onto one hero is fine. When you have to factor in that you're also trying to keep down K1, you're also trying to catch out Moo. It becomes a lot tougher for this lineup.
No, poor old Nellis, bottom lane, does get caught. Gunner was actually running towards
19 to 9 right now, and DogChamp, I think they've gotten like 9 kills or something, and Nouns 1 over the last 10 minutes.
Catch up. So just take Lelis's life. The mid lane, Gunner does TP over. Immediately, the whole side of DogChamp is rotating towards Gunner, and now a nice roll. Moo, he's going to land onto the Necrophos. Gunner, he is completely alone in this area. He's got Ghost Shroud. He'll buy himself some time.
Can fly. No, he's silenced. He's dead.
K1? Gunner. It's too late. And now K1. He tried to time walk in for the Chrono, but he could be in danger. Which way is he going to go? He'll try for DNM.
Go for Earth
Just try and
Spirit.
survive. Moo,
he's out of mana.
Targeted. They'll take down the Earth Spirit, but now without mana, K1 is in such huge trouble.
Bro.
He stuck around to get the Earth Spirit kill, but it cost him his own life.
K1 sometimes.
Yeah, that's concerning. Those were the 2 heroes that were dodging out a lot of these engagements from DogChamp. Now they find the 2 big ones. They did have to pop Metamorphosis on DNM. They did manage to clear the bot tier 2, to be fair, so you're more than happy. Again, there's some progress being made in the map here for DogChamp. And they did manage to clear the mid as well. So the map is shrinking quite severely for now. Next Roche we'll see in a few
Every
seconds.
little bit is under their domination.
Not too bad. Both sides can contest.
So they can just choke out the map now, play it safe, wait for Roche number 2, get that Aegis plus cheese.
No contest, finds a team fight outside, goes into the high ground.
With the Aegis, yeah, you can knock on high ground.
Nouns if you're not careful. And it just feels like, again, Nouns, they've got a much more up-tempo draft than they did in Game 1. And Game 1 was already a bit up-tempo with the Kotl mid. Now with Necrophos mid, you're starting to lag behind a bit. it doesn't feel like you really have gotten value from the Necro in this game, right? Like you didn't
Nope,
manage to
Odie
shut
would
down
have
Red
been
2.
amazing because Odie owns Ember, Odie owns TB, and Odie owns Timber.
For sure, but it feels like
He has a silver edge on TB, so he's got a break for the time lock.
He needs that BKB. Like Connor does change his itemization from that heart just into that debuff immunity. And that could open up the game a little bit. Nouns, they'll smoke up here.
The only person they're going to see is Moose in that bottom lane. Moose, he will break the smoke of K1, and that's enough for him to leave the area immediately. So maybe they could still catch off the Earth Spirit, but even then it wouldn't feel like it's really worth the big smoke rotation they've made. But Roshan, to be fair, is up in 15 seconds, so perhaps any kill would matter just to be able to set up for that next Roshan attempt.
Yeah, they can't really kill Roche that well on
the area,
Nouns' side, so it's definitely looking to be a better DogChamp.
They should have an opportunity to defend this, or rather counter this Roshan fight. In they go. Roshan will be scouted by the Wave of Terror. Red's moving in through the south with the illusions to try and scout out the pit, I think. K1 cannot afford to get caught here. Like, he's got Chrono available. At the very least, they're going to need it for this fight. In come the illusions. You're going to have constant vision.
Stupid Hawks the entire time.
Nouns will take their time. They'll hang around the Roshan pit.
There's no reason for them not to... Wait, he almost has Ags on Lelis? Huh.
This is going to be a very slow process at this
Lelis is actually pretty farmed on the clock.
K1 will get started. It's hard to know how you jump in as well, because you know they have Chrono. Speed's going to jump on Lelis. Roshan now at half HP.
Backline jump.
Forward from Red. He's going in by himself, but there's your global silence. He's caught a couple on the
K1.
backside. K1, he'll get the time walk in time, and now the
gets stunned.
He's caught DNM, but he gets bashed by Roshan. He's going to be okay for now. DNM dropping low.
Ooh, they actually killed DNM. But the fight's over, and
right after. They've lost the Beastmaster and Nouns, and now Gunner was surrounded, but is still alive with the
Gunner's on the runner.
Get away. At least
actually want to go back in on Bloody 9.
Continue this fight. Going on to
Gunner needs that
kill
on Bloody 9.
Oh
no, K1 picks it up.
Yamson's fine. Instead they're back onto Gunner, but Gunner's healing through all of this.
Actually doing a lot of work here.
K1 really dishing out the damage.
No, why is K1 picking up all the kills?
Getting out the damage. He'll kill off K1.
Bro.
Speed. Yamson's gone. It's a full team wipe. DogChamp, I don't know how they finish it that way, but they get it done. Red 2 on the Ember. He's been playing a pretty damn good game.
And he has. Like, he set that up for his team. This Ags from him paying off massively, allowing him to jump in and out. And it looked like a really awkward chase. It was a really
doesn't
fight.
pick all those kills.
From
Gunner gets all the healing regen.
They managed to isolate and take that. A lot of things not lining up for Nouns. The Chrono from K1 right outside of Pit, getting bashed by Roche as he's trying to run into the Terrorblade, so they have to commit the site earlier. Like, it was really rough. You can see it right there. It's rough, right? Like, you just want to be able to focus in, get that damage off, and even Roche is against you. And Red 2 just dances around. He dodges some of the death pulses. They sacrifice
this is such a...
But they forced him to stay in.
Like,
you know, they forced him
this
to
fight would have been amazing if they just gave a kill to... Like, if Gunner gets that kill right there on Moose or Bloody 9, he gets the 6 stacks of his regen.
Enough. You were durable enough on the Timber saw as well. And the procs just weren't coming in for K1. No bashes at the time.
He just goes wild at that stage.
Oh, here we go. Apparently doorbells were going off for multiple players here for that pause. So there you go. Some deliveries maybe for the players.
I'm actually baffled at that one by K1.
Yeah. You know the one delivery they'd really like, Mike?
What's that?
A win.
Very good job.
Deliver a win, DogChamp.
That was a great joke, Jonathan. I still laugh.
Oh,
what is that? Trying to grab.
I'm not sure what the hookshot was for. I guess he's just trying to farm. I've never personally done it, but it's something. Well, yeah, you know, it's a very short cooldown. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I think he was just trying to maximize his
Well, Red 2 almost has his Shivas, so that's more healing reduction against Necro.
Stun area to farm. I suppose,
Ooh, I don't think has a big... does he have his heart? No, he went Kai Sanchez instead of finishing up a heart, I think. No, he's still farming. Anyway. Yeah, he's still going for a heart. Or is he going Axe? Probably not. The fight lasted so long, you might consider Axe. Still gives you a decent amount of HP, but I would assume he's going to go for
now they can start to consider the high ground.
The heart. Which,
and that's where the threat is. Like, with it terribly, the high ground doesn't take too long.
He queued it up, so
they just need
would
to
make
find
sense that he'd go for it.
That, maybe look for that top tier 2 first
That's just
as well. And just completely clear out the map. Nouns, it hasn't felt like they've been in control of this game in a while. There are still some shining moments, but just not enough. They haven't been able to make any sort of map control progression here as well. At least they've got the shard up for
one going for Mjolnir.
So
oh no, actually he's not going. Now he's going. He has Skadi, so he does reduce the healing on the opposing side, which is nice for them. What does TB actually have? The Satanic is going to be the Nullifier is going to be the big item that's left to get against Necro.
He won't even bottle it up.
Actually, on Scythe
Hunter, picks it up.
He's going Axe
right now.
On moves. I mean, Axe is good. Because you can, of course, just send someone to Narnia. You can also save someone.
They won't find the bigger target
from your team, which is a nice one.
They're just still nice enough, and she's gone for 40 seconds.
You like invulnerable your ally, and then you can kick them.
You're probably not going to get the follow-up fight anytime soon, but you do find that last outer tower. Still have a lot of time left in the Aegis. And you still have Metamorphosis ready to go.
And they're going for it. Ooh, triple rocket flares though. And Moose is dead.
Aggressive this time around, will get punished. That cost them the high ground push. Sometimes you just roll, Jonathan. That's Earth Spirit players, in a nutshell. Sometimes we just start rolling for no reason.
DNM?
They're looking to continue. Oh, that Lotus spell reflect.
X is out, K1.
Ups to BKB.
Committed, looking for a target. Red 2 trying
That's the chrono still.
K1, he pump fakes there for a moment, but decides better of it. We'll hold on to the chrono. It's a bit of a shame for DogChamp. Like, they should have been able to get away with at least a T3 tower. But sometimes you press W on Earth Spirit and things happen.
Yeah, I mean, it does force the sight out onto him. It's a pretty long cooldown, so you feel a little bit safer here for speed. You feel a little bit safer for DNM. You're not going to get insta-gib down to 0. So you still have some decent play, but they opt to play it safe. Metamorphosis didn't have too much time left, so they cut their losses. Age is still up for another 2 minutes 20 anyway. You should be able to get one more Metamorphosis use out of that. So that could be when they line up for the high ground push once more. The side of Nouns, they've got the BKB up in Gunner, so Necros is a lot safer up front here. You've got your own Scotty up on K1. And the stats are making it pretty hard to burst him down.
This game is going to be another 60-minute game.
We'll be okay to back off. He's going for the Giga Chad build, by the way, John. He's going for the Ag Scepter, which is not for players like me because, too many buttons. But Moose, he's a professional.
That he is.
Aghanim Scepter Earth Spirit is going to be a lot of fun to watch, though.
Presser.
It's hard, I'm telling you. That Ags, it's not easy.
Dude, I can't even play Earth Spirit.
Top lane.
Let alone more spells.
K1, no hesitation. He'll just commit the chrono immediately seeing the Ember. Because Red 2 has been the big issue. He is really the big nuisance.
And he's the bottom of the cores on the side of DogChamp as well.
That cost them the gem as well. So gem gone. And a little bit of an opening here without the Ember around for 80 seconds. Can't really go into the high ground. That does pretty much waste most of the remaining time on your Aegis. Respawn of 70 with only a minute left in Aegis. Not going to be able to do much with that remainder outside of farm now. So now installing out the game well. getting that build up.
Oh,
Hector,
Roche is
full
gone
Mjolnir
in. Well, the
already
age
goes
is gone
soon
in
within
about
200 gold.
45 seconds.
This Faceless Void is
and then
starting to be that one focal point now for DogChamp. If they don't manage to pin down K1,
wait until the next Roche, I
then
guess.
he's just going to be able to get some good control. He's going to be able to get these Chronos.
Wait, what?
Wait, the Hawk?
That's how that works? Speed?
A Hawk goes
Speed in
onto
trouble.
Invis
He'll
heroes?
get the Ags off at the very least with the reactive armor, so he's going to be okay. K1 still going, will go on to moves, but a nice Ogre Seal Totem to get himself out as K1 still just trying to run, but DNN is on the chase. He really wants
I'm actually going to test that.
He'll go after Moo on the Beastmaster, but the BKB is there to ensure the TP is there as well, and he does make it. He will be okay
I
to get
actually
out.
kind of have to test that out.
My
That is
issue...
what worked, Mike.
My issue was, Jonathan, and I realize why that happened now, but that Hawk dive, the dive bomb, went onto speed while he was invis. And I was like, well, why does that happen if you can't see him? But in fact, they probably could see him because there was a sentry ward placed. So never mind.
My beast and I hunt
Yeah, and they also have the gem on blue, so
Right.
they grabbed that from red too.
Well, you could have pretended like they didn't, Jonathan. You could have made me sound a bit smarter.
Well, I thought you meant like something like Lotus Orb made speed dive bomb, and I was like, oh, would that work? Then
What?
I thought it was something exciting like that. That's why you sounded so amazed. I was like, oh, did he dive bomb back the dive bomb with Lotus Orb? No, it shouldn't work that way. It doesn't. I'm disappointed, Mike.
Okay, no,
Dive
it
bomb
doesn't.
It's mundane as vision. I mean, you could always try. Nothing stops you. It might not lead to good results, but nothing stops you.
Yeah,
Not
try after this
recommended.
game, John. You know,
Yeah, I would. I
give it a
would.
crack.
Yeah. Definitely will. It sounds like a lot of fun. As they both smoke up. And DogChamp, it feels like they're dropping the ball a little bit. You know, they're still in the lead. They haven't been able to really pierce high ground. Bot creep wave is shoving a little bit of pressure onto the tier 3. But we've seen this play from Nouns before where they get an opening, they start to take a Rax, they take more openings off the back of that. You can't allow that.
Yeah, they're going to get
DogChamp
pushed into
grouping
their
up
base
bot
now.
So maybe
On Nouns, they're going to wait
can
until
start to
Roche
force things out,
respawns.
but
It's going to
look
be
at this creep
a
cutting. Just the
third
overlord
Roche,
creep
so
at
that's a
work,
free
that
Ag
ancient black
Roche.
dragon cutting creep wave. No push to
That's
come
the
out.
game-changing Roche normally.
Absolutely not. It's the thing with Moo, these micro heroes, he could just be such a nuisance. The way he positions these creeps to always be able to creep cut when his team does need it. I mean, it's a skill in and of itself, but my God, it's going to be very annoying for DogChamp to try and deal with. Nouns now grouping up down a bottom lane. 50 seconds till we find out when Roshan does
Moves with the
respawn.
Ags. Now he's got a big saving tool as well. Oof.
Tormented to be taken by DogChamp. So the shards will be up on Moose now as well. So you've got the
Moose is farmed.
you can grab allies with magnetic grip. Which, fun fact, John, used to just be a part of the hero, but apparently that was too good. So now it's you got to pay
Yeah.
for the damn thing.
Makes sense to me. Seems
No,
good.
it doesn't, Jonathan. No, it doesn't. It was a
Seems good,
fine
Mike.
spell. I don't know what the problem was with it.
You don't know what the problem was. Did you watch the past TIs? Did you see the comp games? Those saves?
Have you seen what Dota's become? Yeah,
I... You're
What
the
is
one who called for Invoker Universal, Mike.
Yeah.
You got exactly what you wanted.
it's what I want.
Now he's banned every game.
Just make
Yeah.
Earth Spirit good. That's all I'm asking.
Are
That's-
DogChamp
that's-
actually
that's
going to
not-
take this?
That's not how it works. What does that have to do with anything? There's no causal link. What?
Roshan's
I
gonna
don't-
be a wild.
What's
Jonathan.
your logic
This,
like?
wow, that's a
What-
lengthy
what-
Roche
what's
respawn
wrong
time.
with your logic? The logic it's in Australia or flip.
Gunner. Chains out from Red. Red's gonna be very cautious, right? Because we've seen K1. Like, if he can find the Ember with the
Does he have
Chrono,
a... Okay, wait.
he will take the option every time.
He's got Refresher
Red
on
2 just
Necro? Double
Having so much
Reaper, okay.
impact in these fights that it's worth just popping the Chrono on the Ember, get rid of him, and just move on from there. Keep in mind, Red 2, he does not have buyback gold either.
If
so
you
it's not like he
Chrono
can
on
run and take
Ember,
it back to the
Earthspirit's going to
fights.
save him.
It's very important.
Like, that's the
At least for
big
DogChamp, they
issue
did
right
not
now.
let
You
their
need
Ember
to
get
kind of
caught.
Chrono the
Which I
Earthspirit.
suppose you can.
'Cause
with
he's the
grab
one that's gonna
allies with
save
GM
whoever's
magnetic
gonna get
grip,
Chrono.
Jonathan, but I wouldn't rely on that.
I mean, he has the They have Yags. You can Stoneform and Chrono.
Oh, you
which
can
I think is really the big
now.
play. That is the save for Moose.
I forgot about that. Here you go. So much vision being provided here from Lelis as K1 jumps in, chains out. He will not find the Chrono opportunity yet.
Roche is not up for another minute at least.
DogChamp will take over the warding on this cliff. Nouns lacking vision. Red 2 again aggressively jumping in, trying to get Chrono forced out.
DNM's without his team.
Roshan's still 40 seconds away. Oh, DNM. K1. He found DNM. Can they save him?
Oh, the Sunder.
Oh, he gets it off.
Bro.
It gives him the option. And now the kick away from Moose, buying the space for DNM as the Reaper sight does nothing. They will protect the TB, but they've lost their silencer. Can the fight continue?
Moose staying alive as well with like 10 HP.
He's gone down. Red 2 will take
GG.
him out. Now Gunner, he's the big target. DNM still just chasing down the Necrophos, trying to get him through the BKB. But the magic missiles out from Yamsun, slowing them down. Though Yamsun looks like he should drop.
Oh, Gunner?
He'll get
That's
another
another kill.
off onto Moose this time around. Still trying to survive or go for the death seeker.
Yeah, but the Scotty
fight,
slows too
but he
much.
is gone.
And that's a free Roche. That's probably
my
game.
Goodness. It's like saving the president. The Moose and Bloody Nine, they just would not allow DNM to die.
You give him all the space he needs, gets the BKB off, gets the Sunder right in the nick of time, and leads to a massive win for the side of DogChamp, forcing out the buyback and dieback on Yamson as well, getting the Aegis, getting the Ags, everything under their belt now for DogChamp. Suddenly a 23k, 24k lead coming out.
Terror Wave, K1.
Oh boy.
Do they have the chains? Red 2, he's trying to get there with the remnant
Everyone on the
forward.
run.
He should be able to get the chains off, and now the breakout. This could be a huge kill, but K1 is still trying to run. Chains committed now, but he has the Manta. He's going to be all right.
K1 gets out.
With 3 heroes down, K1 could not afford to die right now. It would just be too much being given back to DogChamp.
Way too much. That's going to be a free high ground if that Faceless Void was taken out of the picture. K1 trying to farm into the refresh as well.
Oh, he's got the backtrack, so now the break is actually necessary. How many stacks does the Necro have?
Has to be able to get enough time to find one.
Okay, K1's going for a refresher, so you're going to get double Chrono in the team fights. That's actually pretty huge.
I am concerned for the side of Nouns, just because that Chrono came out where Moose is not in the area. Again, if he manages to get that Enchant Remnant off onto DNM, you don't even need to pop the BKB Sunder. You don't need to sacrifice your silencer.
Red 2
needs to be careful himself because there's a Chrono available.
Moose is here along with Bloody Nine to boot. They want the chase. They have the global silence as well, don't forget. So be ultra cautious around here, but it seems like they are just too busy dealing with the units that just continue to come in from this Beastmaster. So the Faceless Void going to be okay to back out of here. Has now officially hit that level 25 mark, so you have that 20% backtrack now on the Void. Takes me back to the good old days, of course. That was also an ability back
Gunner
in the day, for anyone that wasn't aware.
Big pickup.
That was actually a broken ability, though, to be fair.
Yeah, dodging
That's
Laguna
actually a
and
big
Finger in the
pickup.
same tick was pretty
It's a lot of stats,
Amazing.
plus now
That
the
image never leaves my
Heartstopper
mind.
Aria health decay is increased by
imprinted on
60% of Necrophos' current
Finger,
health
Laguna,
regen.
and Void's in the middle, and it's like it looks like.
I mean,
a
how
scene
much is
from,
the
I don't
health
know, Harry
decay?
Potter or something.
That's the thing as well. It's like
Dude,
every time you're gonna finger
2.4%
Laguna Void back in those days,
healing
you knew he was
reduction,
gonna
like,
backtrack. It's like it always, it's like
damage,
SB
magic
back,
damage,
right?
AoE,
it's never
while
actually
you're alive.
17%.
And then you add in however
You
much
did not kill this slippery guy.
his HP regen is.
K1 gets to relive
Times
the past.
0.6.
You know what? For the 10th anniversary, bring back backtrack as a full ability. Do it. Make it a shard.
But we can't
Can you
stun the
imagine if
Boulder
it was a shard? No, too much, Mike.
Almost a
Too much.
30k net worth lead for DogChamp.
Never again.
I'll keep trying.
No,
DNM,
you're not. It's never gonna happen.
DNM, or DNM. There's a lot of heroes here. He's gonna use the Terror Wave perhaps, but K1 trying to duke it out, doesn't quite get there. Now the global silence with the BKB. He made it in time. That was unfortunate.
He's a blink and a
The global
silver edge.
silence, it came out right before the BKB was committed. Had that been like half a second later, they might have actually had a chance. Without the time walk, I don't know if
Oh, he's got a refresher now, so he has double BKB, double chrono.
Would have been locked.
Does he have enough mana?
Would have had enough time to respond, perhaps with red 2.
300.
It does have a refresh
Well,
all,
he's
though.
pretty far out.
Hmm.
That is fair.
Probably.
But popping double BKB
I mean, he definitely does have
not
enough
the
mana.
Ideal.
Manta.
Like you really want to get the double. Still, I mean, you're not popping double chrono in there.
Yeah.
You know, that's the big takeaway. You pop that refresh, and DogChamp will know that they've got the opening. So, I think that's a fine enough save for the refresh. Save that cooldown. I think DogChamp, again, they're the ones with the ages. They only have a minute left. They do find a DD. They need to get something done. We need to see this high ground ripped, or at least one of these key heroes to kill off into the high ground here.
They've also got the axe up down the Necrophos, by the way, John. This is something you were mentioning earlier.
Oh.
But this is apparently, according to you, a very strong timing for the Necro.
It is painful.
It does seem annoying.
60% of his
30
HP regen.
seconds for
Right
the
now,
ages
that's
to
about,
expire. He
a
has
little
double
bit over
damage. 30 seconds for
36
ages to expire, and he's
damage
just
per second,
not
just
doing
a little bit
anything.
over. And when he pops Ghost Shroud, that rockets up to 100 DPS. You get a couple
Double
of
damage
pre-kills,
ages.
keeps going up.
Like, go.
Okay.
Oh, move. That's the target they want to
Get caught.
nuke.
Beastmaster. BKB up, trying to buy time for his team to break
He
the
is
gap.
dead. They
K1
also
is
they have
moving
3
in.
heroes
There
with
was a
refreshers
nice chrono opportunity, but he's
on
not gonna commit.
Nouns.
They
All through
do
their
lack
cores.
a Beastmaster for another 75 seconds, so chances are they just want to try and defend as much as possible. And they've got a decent opportunity because the Aegis does expire on DNM. He does still have the cheese backpacked. And you do still have Sunder. But
And you
without
have
the Aegis,
swap.
You might be a little bit afraid because now you get swapped in, and with the Reaper's side, he might just be down. DNM
Oh,
is down,
bro.
he's gone. Moves to drop afterwards, and now the double chrono from K1, locking everyone in. Bloody Knight is gone. And so is Speed by the looks of it. There won't be enough with the Reaper's scythe. But eventually,
He's very
they will just
tanky.
permabash Speed. Triple kill for K1.
Good God.
And that's why, Jonathan, you want to go high ground with the Aegis intact.
Yeah, it's just curious. DogChamp played it so safe for so long. They go high ground when the Aegis expires.
That was a 10
Moose.
swing.
Moose
That
tried
was
to
a
flip forward
stupid
to get
move.
the enchant remnant.
Big
Got
fight.
caught in the chrono instead. I think that's what he was trying to go for, that save on the enchant, but he doesn't have a range. So they get severely punished. Nouns, they stay in the game,
He's got
and they're still behind.
lot
they're still
of
in deficit, but
HP
double
regen
chrono
going on
void's
in
now
the
a
fight.
threat. High ground's a little bit open for him.
Well, Red 2's going to skip the creep wave the best he can. K1 literally ignoring him, just going right for the tier 3 towers, wanting the buybacks to be committed by DogChamp.
I mean, I don't think they need to commit
The axe coming up for K1.
any buybacks.
So you're going to have the bash with the time warp now.
Their spirit makes it a little bit scary. You lose
Very,
tier
very
3
annoying.
tower, you're not even
He's
going
trying
to
to
lose
defend high
racks
ground, he
because
just
their
keeps
pushing
bashing.
power is very weak.
No chrono at least, but there you go. Bloody 9 getting jumped immediately. Keep in mind, Red 2 does have a Scythe device. So even more lockdown against the Void, but right now he's probably not seeing like it's really enough to defend against Nouns. Comes Gunner. It seems like as soon as Gunner TPs, they
Gunner,
just leave the
the
area.
number 1 stunner.
To be fair, everyone has basically respawned but Speed. So probably best they just play it
Look
safe.
at that win
By
probability.
the way, John, we have a 51 to 49% game, and we're almost 52 minutes in.
Yeah? Now it's 50-50.
Another one.
Huh. It is another one. It's 50 minutes? Okay, this time around I didn't feel it.
Yeah,
This was a lot more action coming out at the very least. So, you know, it's not 8 to 9 at 45, or what was it, 6 to 9, 7 to 9 at that time. You know, there is more activity. It's just DogChamp have not made this games any easier for themselves, considering the pacing, considering that they take Roshan, they aren't able to go high ground. They respect now.
Axe Roche.
Too
It's
much.
another
To be
free
fair, Nouns is a
axe. Who's
strong
going to get
keyword
the
for
free
second,
axe?
But you have to play with some confidence here on DogChamp. You know, you have to play like you can outplay Nouns instead of trying to have them open up and look for a mistake. They have to take initiative at some point here.
Okay, he's got a scythe on. I'm surprised he
Rosu.
doesn't actually have an Aeon disc. On Earth,
for the Ember. Not like he really needs the gold right now, but why the hell not?
Ember
Arcanum
Spirit,
is also up by the way,
Aeon,
in the bottle of
probably.
red too. So
Also
this
don't
next
have a
team
nullifier
fight,
yet.
that Arcanum could cause a lot of problems.
I'd get an Aeon on
The low
him,
cooldowns
probably an
that
Aeon
Ember
on
can
the Earth
have, and
Spirit
now
as
they'll go
well.
for a 5-man smoke.
Hell, an Aeon on the Silencer.
Roshan's available in 1 minute 40.
Actually, Silencer probably should go for Refresher.
K1.
Did he go for a Refresher? They
Smoke
have Refreshers on
broken.
everyone.
Do they see the void? He's got double chrono, but he's the big
He's
target.
going in.
And he's jumped in for a double. He's got a chrono off, but there's
Actually,
no backup.
DNM.
Another Terror Wave DNM. He's going to try and go into K1, but he's in trouble. The 3-man chrono. K1.
Moves with the
Giga
save.
Chat. The rock. They saved
DNM sent back.
DNM's alive. The Reaper
He does
saved
get
not
Reaper
enough.
down this time.
Saved again, no, he's down.
Oh,
He is down.
that's a big team
They've
fight.
got a 3-man down. The speed going to be the 4th. It seems like on the
4
Timber.
kills.
K1 on this void. They are trying so
Yeah.
hard to save, but this guy is hitting all the chronos.
And he is Gunner as well with a refresh, just having so much impact with the.
They have
double with the
buybacks.
sights. And they're just
Focus
going
down
in.
the racks.
One set of racks down bot. Fortify is still up, but they could look for the end game.
Next Roshan is up in
Buybacks are still
35.
ready, but they need to make something out. There's
With
no
the
double
set of
chrono,
racks,
there's no
full
double
back.
sight. They need to fight this.
Well, they're onto K1,
Actually,
but
they're
they
gonna
need to
get
get everyone
jumped.
else first, so they're going to jump the backside.
They know
Try and
K1
go
doesn't
to
have a
Yamson.
refresher or
Ensure
chrono.
there's
By the
no
way, so,
escape route.
how are you
There
doing,
go.
Sun King
Yamson's
forever?
down. Onto the Lelis clockwork. Lelis
Jump
in
in.
trouble. K1
Break.
also being chased down.
No
Move.
backtrack.
He'll TP away at least, but K1's down.
That's big. They can
What
get
is it with
Roche.
these two teams?
I don't think it's not
These
going to
two
be
teams,
enough,
they are just
but they get
so
another free
close.
ags.
Every game so far. When did DogChamp get to a stage where they were so close to Nouns in terms of performance?
I feel like they were pretty damn close in the last tour, weren't they? Like they were on the cusp of like beating Nouns, and I think if they beat Nouns,
It
that
is
would set some
2:30 in the
interesting
morning, and these
scenarios
fucking
in that
dickheads
last
are
tour.
going for 260+
But
minute
showing
games.
up here, they've improved yet again. They've held steady with this roster.
What time does...
Nouns
Oh,
had a
next is
couple
bait
changes,
versus
huh?
wildcard. Yeah, I'm gonna go to
Who's
bed
on the
after this because I
run,
want to
but they've
do
got the chase, they've
Extreme
got the
versus
enchant remnant, they'll
Azure
buy back on
Ray,
Yamson
the
and
grand
try and help
finals.
out Yamson. I don't
But
think
that
he can
depends
make it.
on, you know, if this is
That
going
was
to a
that
3-mapper
was
or not.
A little bit of an awkward buyback from Yamson.
Dude, have you watched this series, Sand King?
Nothing he really could have done to get there in time, I don't think.
Have you watched like the full
Regardless,
series?
though, I mean, they might need to buy back on some more heroes now because they're losing their tier 3 mid tower. They'll buy back on Moon. But that'll be enough for DogChamp because they've
Because
got a Roshan
K1
they
has
can
made
play.
so many
And
mistakes
that's the third
in this
Roshan of the
series.
game with a refresher shot on it. Not to mention,
Like
only
they gave
about
him
4 minutes
MVP
away
for the
from tier
first
5 items being
game,
up, so you're
and
gonna have a chance to
like-
find those very soon too.
Yeah, maybe this time around, DogChamp will manage to find their neutrals at the same time.
fixes
that
it,
Nouns
but
does.
in the
Show us
end of
that
the
tier
game.
5
But
advantage for Nouns
yeah,
in
I
the
heard
last
Aston
game.
lost. Yeah, that was actually
Roche going
hilarious to watch.
uncontested. They can't reach there fast enough on the side of Nouns. So, Aegis, Cheese, and Refresh ready to go. Refresh being picked up by Speed.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if they gave that to Red, he would have double refresh. You'd have 15 remnants.
Yeah,
Like 15 remnants
No.
is pretty insane.
Dude,
it is. Your issue
You
is really
can't-
just the mana pool.
you can't
I think for
refresh
the Ember to kind of play
with
it.
a refresh shot and
So
refresh
one
orb
is-
anymore.
Maybe more than enough. Like the mana management on Ember for all of those remnants and the spell spam is pretty high.
Right.
So I don't mind this. I think the double hex is pretty big
Yeah.
for Speed. Although he did hand it away once more. Did they give it to? They just
Silence
handed
them.
it to Bloody
Dude.
Nine. Yeah,
Yeah.
double silence is
Makes
way more
I
consistent.
completely forgot
Yeah.
that refreshers
Now they just
don't
need to get
stack.
something. They need to make the Sages work for them.
Like,
The last time around, they just default to farm. Now it's dodges out. Now it's are the ones to
oh,
find openings.
MLB, Jonix
DogChamp
Fire.
need to get something done. No Rax is falling yet on either side, just the tier 3s, but you want that Rax advantage for yourself. You want to force this game through if you're DogChamp, and Nouns, they've been hanging on. They've been really clutching their plays. And they've been managing to force DogChamp to run with her,
That's,
around in circles, so Yeah, no, it
Yeah,
feels like despite this lead,
that's definitely something that
Nouns are
they.
the ones dictating these
I
engagements anyway.
assume they know, but they
Yes.
probably just forgot.
Been spotted here by Gunner. Rolls away. They have the hook shot on Lelis, but they don't want to go in blind. A lot of patience here from
I'm definitely
DogChamp,
gonna
with the advantage of the age.
Message Justini that
Being scattered out by these rocket flares,
they should
wanna
not
play
play games
cautiously.
the entire time when they're
I
coming
don't know
back.
if you really want to fight near your base either as DogChamp. But they are going to have to maybe go down that route. Mind you, they are lacking a lot of buybacks. Satanic built up on DNM now. Still 3 minutes on the Aegis. It seems like the difference in experience between
Extreme
these two
Gaming
teams,
can
like
definitely
now,
lose
they're
to
the
their
team
academy
without the
team. That
Aegis up, but
CTY
they're
is
the
good.
ones
I
making
don't
the
know
aggressive
why he
plays.
left a few years ago.
They'll see Gunner in
I
the
think
mid
they're
lane,
pretty
but K1's
okay,
the
but I
one you
really
wanna be
don't think
worried
they're
about, 'cause
good.
That man can just land chronos like it's his job. And I suppose it currently is his job
It is
to land those
job.
chronos. Yeah, thank you, John.
Like I just think
I know
the
I
other
messed
teams
up.
were underwhelming, but
It's just hard.
Extreme
Mills,
Gaming is
he's
gonna
got the
win that.
enchant remnant. He found Gunner.
Zincu is a
He got Gunner,
freaking
he
beast.
forces
He's
the
gonna
BKB,
single-handedly
and now
carry
the
them.
Purple Silds committed to boot.
Oh, the two-man
K1.
chrono,
K1,
and
he's
it's
got
the
a
Earth
great
Spirit as
chrono.
well.
He's found 2 targets again on red 2. He's the big one, but
Yep.
no. Oh, he can't avoid.
They find the
He
double,
can't avoid it. He tried.
and
It's
that's
up
a
to DNM
dieback
now.
on
It
red
is
2.
up to DNM to try and make this team
That's
fight
game.
work, but it seems like he's going to force his way out of there.
Yep.
In comes
Reaper
Moose
dead.
again.
My
Trying
Aegis
to
God.
get
popped.
something done with the Earth Spirit. Bloody Nine is gone. K1's onto speed to boot. The Timber.
Dude, that
cannot
Ags on
do
speed is
anything.
insane.
Trying to chain away, but it won't be enough. It seems like DogChamp
Don't know what's happening
are
with
in
China.
huge
Everyone's saying,
trouble
no,
now.
they just played like
3
shit.
heroes down without buyback. This series may just be over.
The amount of money that Samil has
How do you
made,
defend?
there's zero chance that I
can't.
believe that he
Without
does
those
any
buybacks,
kind of
it's DNM
3-2-2.
against the world, and there's only so much this Blade can get done
Especially
for you. Onto the tier
in a
4s now
foreign
it goes,
country like
and
China.
DogChamp, again, the hesitation.
Like
And
if
maybe
he'd
a little
get
bit
caught, he'd get
Too
fucked up.
crazy with that play here for Moose.
Alright, Moose, he's going to try for the Enchant Remnant kick back into the Fountain play, but gets locked down immediately. So you've got a Terror Wave, they aren't even going to bother. They'll just call it GG well played. Now they will officially be your first grand finalists for the TI-12 NA qualifiers. And for DogChamp, but they are not out of it yet. They will go down to the lower bracket finals, but as you can see, Nouns, very, very happy faces, making it all the way to the
Camille won't
end.
do that. The other teammates,
No,
yeah,
that's
but
a
even
great
the other
position to be in,
teammates,
John. A lot
bro,
of stress
it's
off
like
their shoulders,
Kaka.
as you can tell
He's
by their
made
faces.
plenty of cash. He doesn't really need to do it.
It was a lot close.
JT.
A lot closer than I think.
Oh wait, JT is actually in. Who's their off lane? Now I'm confused.
Outside of a couple of mistakes, and it's as you mentioned. This is where the inexperience of DogChamp perhaps
Not
kicks
JT,
in.
the other
They don't
guy.
manage to play with their advantage too well, especially with all of the Aegises. I think it was really evident in game 2. That was
XXS.
here.
XXS
And
plays
now
his
it's just
best.
managed to execute. They play around the
Monet
space really well. They know what to do.
plays
when
like a
there's
range
nothing
hero
happening
pretty
on
well.
the map, they know the timings they
But
want
on
to hit.
Extreme Gaming,
Even
I
though,
love
again, the laning
JT.
start was a bit
XP,
slower
so
for
bit
Nouns,
like
but
this
Gunner did
and
manage to
this.
do too
These
much.
two
They
are
just play
single-handedly
slow,
gonna
they hit
carry
these spikes.
Extreme
Like, this
Gaming
itemization
to the
on Gunner as
finals.
well was massive. Like this refresh out. Sure,
Yeah,
the
I got
refresh and Void
confused.
was really strong as well from
It's
K1.
just stuff for
But I
everyone.
think
There's
the
only one
double
slot for
refresh
all,
side from Gunner
except for
actually
South
helped them
America. South
secure
America has
a
2,
lot of these
and
endgame fights. Like the
Western
double
EU
reaper
has
there,
2 slots. I
with a
think.
chrono usage, the Ags build up.
There's
the
a lot
amount
of better
burn
teams that
damage he
deserve
did
the
in this
invite
game
than
was
teams like Execration and
insane.
TSM. Should have
So,
been Aster
Everyone
and Quest.
doing their job
slot.
well, but again, the experience of
I mean,
Nouns
Execration
kicking in
didn't
gear,
make it
and
to.
DogChamp just
Execration
falling
didn't
short
make
of
it
the
to
mark there,
TI.
just a bit.
Execration is
Yeah,
playing
so, I mean,
qualifiers.
you can't really take too much away from DogChamp. Like, they forced 2 games to the 60-minute mark, basically. Like, last game was 70 minutes plus, and this one actually goes to
Yeah,
59
Execration is
minutes
playing
and 55
qualifiers. They didn't make it.
So 5 seconds away from 60 minutes, which is telling you something. Like, they've got the right idea. They've got the level of skill they need.
That
to
shouldn't be
beat
too
a team like
problematic.
Nouns.
I mean, I don't think they're
I
gonna make it
suppose
to
they
TI
just need
at
to-
all. Like, they're probably gonna get themselves crushed. I'm gonna go with Boom because they've got Xnova and Baboka. That's gonna be nice. Oh, they did, my bad. Yeah, they failed because they made it to all 3 majors, I think, and then they got 0 points in the majors, so they got. Well, they suck. That's pretty much where they stand. They also replaced some players, I think. Like, where is he? I think they had Natsumi. I think. Oh, Carlo. Sorry, Carlo is Whoever the Natsumi might have been like way earlier. Is that like 17 years ago? They never had Natsumi? Where the fuck was Natsumi in? Oh, when they were called Polaris. That's where I got confused. But yeah, no, that wasn't Natsumi. So they kicked... Wait, what? They kicked Carlo. And who are they playing with now? Do you know? No. Abeng. Okay, so they're playing with Abeng now. Yeah, they're kind of like the Nouns sort of their region. Nouns good in their... I mean, Nouns is struggling a lot too much in during this DPC. I'm gonna go with Boom's gonna take it. Joe Pudge is my idol. I don't actually rate WS that high. Like, absolutely not. But I rate Yo Pudge, Baboka, and Xnova very highly. The other teams... That Cuckoo Man's is always fun. This one's weird because they got no one in mid again. So now all of a sudden no one is playing in Southeast Asia and he's playing mid instead of safe lane. Cox. Everyone loves Cox. Army Geniuses, I also really like the lineup. I think DB is a great offlaner. And these are all just not it. I mean, 3, 4, 5, 8 is pretty nice, but yeah, these are all not it. So right now, North America, the next match is going to be Bait versus Wildcard. I'm going to be asleep for that, definitely, because tomorrow is China, and they're going to have the Team 0 versus Extreme, which is also Western EU and South America have 2 invites instead of 1. Team 0 with, of course, TI winner right there. And up against Extreme. I think Extreme is going to win. I actually think they're going to win in probably 2 because Extreme is, well, they're pretty try hard. They have, Bleed actually did well. Ball just choked a bunch of games. I mean, yeah. It's kind of like Talon didn't even make it to Bali, right? I don't think Talon made it to Bali. Team 0 is that good? No, I don't. I mean, I think Team 0 is pretty nice, but I think they're going to get 2 out by Extreme Gaming. And then you're going to have the grand finals, which is Azure versus Extreme, and I think Azure is going to beat Extreme. And then I hope that Azure is going to play against Nouns at TI, and then I hope that Nouns is going to beat their ass, but I doubt it. Yeah, Talon wasn't in Bali because they failed somehow to qualify. The rest, I mean, as he said, CTY is pretty good. 7E is like a good Foker player. Beyond is okay. CZQ, I don't really pay that much attention to CZQ. They're okay. They're pretty decent, like tier 2 Chinese team. Like they got 2nd in Division 1, which is okay. They did make, of course, that big upset happen against IG and Team Bright 2-1 to Team Aster, but I just think that they sucked the bigger dong than that they got outclassed pretty much. Like this game, I believe that Team Aster had the way superior draft, and they just, I don't even know what they did. Game 1 as well. They got beaten by Anti-Mage 2 games in a row. Granted, Anti-Mage's new shard's kind of cool, but definitely not worth losing over. Nazure is going to be interesting to see. I mean, they're just always the most interesting team in China. Look at that lineup, dude. Low, Somnus, Chalice, FY, Chinese name that I don't know and I always forget. It's fuck it. Oh, Jiaming. Okay. I hate when they have Chinese names. And it's like, oh, is it Siamese cat? Oh, is it that guy? Is it that guy? Oh, is it possibly that guy? No, maybe it's that guy. No. Azure is one of those teams that at TI could make a run. Like, if they make it to TI, they're actually a team that could make a run for the win. Oh, so you're Filipino, Awi. I assume. There. Okay, that's weird. And then Eastern Europe, I think it's gonna be. I think Navi could do a lot to get to the top spot, but I think. I think Team Sexy is gonna take it. Church Pro kind of does weird shit half the time. Western EU, we got 2 teams making it to TI, so I'm gonna go with Nigma and Quest. South America, Thunder Awaken and Akatsuki are the 2 that I think possibly. I mean, Keyd Stars could also be. Actually, I've scrimmed against Keyd Stars. They're okay. And then A still Nouns. I mean, the grand finals are best of 5, so that's why I. But thanks for watching, guys. In probably 5 hours, I'll be back up. Because the Chinese match is the Extreme Gaming versus Team Zero. Oh, it starts at 5. It's right now 2 for me. So that means plus 2 hours. If they 2-0 it, I would be back at 7. Yeah. I will definitely try to be awake in time for the Azure the Chinese Grand Finals best of 5. They tucked up a lot early game. They gave too many kills to the AM. If AM was not fed or even slowed down for a bit, I think it could have been easy for Aster. That Brute pick, I'm not just a fan of. Also, Kaka played the lane really bad. I think Brewmaster in this patch is actually really strong. I think in the last patch it was also very powerful. It depends on who plays it, of course, but it's a specialist hero. I think Brewmaster out of Brew form is actually incredibly strong, which is kind of cool. Where he's like a right-clicking thing and then only uses ulti to disengage. But regardless, thank you guys for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget to check the stream out when the grand finals are up. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye-bye. Big love, Big D. Massive respect to everyone. And hopefully you have